wide to the right, I formation behind Carr. Waller goes in motion from left to right. Carr takes the snap. He'll hand off Jacobs straight ahead across the 15. Breaks a tackle 10. Across the 5. End zone. Touchdown Raiders. Josh Jacobs explodes up the middle for an 18-yard touchdown run. And with 1:02 to go, the Raiders have taken the lead. Oakland 26, Chargers 24.
The Raiders! That hurt my throat already. Oh, Raider fan. Your team's legit.
Raiders, issy.
The Raiders are legit. Raider fans going to come out today, too. They're going to come out in droves today. What is up, boys and girls? Happy Raider Friday. Oh, I know you're going to love that. 26-24 Raiders over the Chargers last night as they are now poised, I believe, to make a little run for the postseason. If you look at what's in front of them with the Bengals and the Jets, the next two, they got the Chargers and the Broncos to end the season. The Chargers are struggling. It's Friday to you. Happy Friday to you. You don't think the Chargers are struggling?
I think they're struggling. It's
not struggling.
The game, not
struggling.
Yeah, the game that they played last night is the game they played every single weekend.
Right.
Minute left,
right.
down by 2,
That's right.
80 yards to go. But when it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Hunter Henry slips. It turns into a pick six.
That's right.
They come back, take the lead. Then the Raiders have that final drive where you can't get the stop. You can't step up defensively. They go up 2. You're wondering, all right, miss the extra point. This could get interesting, all 3 timeouts. But the Chargers could not move the football because the Raiders' defense had their moments, and especially there at the end.
They had the money badger, too, on the other side. The money badger. You got the tape from yesterday when I picked the Raiders? And you so condescendingly said to me, why? Mm-hmm. And I explained to you that I believe that Derek Carr is getting better. I think that young defense is getting better. I think they run the football a little bit, and I think Phillip Rivers is getting older, makes more mistakes, and I just didn't believe in the Chargers. You had a good argument, by the way, on the Chargers. But the Raiders, I do believe their defense is getting better. Young defense is getting better. I believe Derek Carr is making his case to be the quarterback as they move into Las Vegas, and I think he's making better decisions. He still misses receivers, but I think the majority of NFL quarterbacks miss receivers. But I think they're doing enough. He's got enough weapons, and I think they've got a stud running back that they can rely on now. And their offensive line got better. Now, they make a zillion mistakes. They almost penaltied themselves out of that game. Offside, like line encroachment. There's a lot of things you look at and you say there's no excuse for, right? You hear that a lot. There's a lot of things that are overused. The word great is overused, and the term there's no excuse for it because there usually is. But there really is no excuse to line up offsides. And what did they do that 4 times last night? The Raiders did line up in the neutral zone. It cost them a possession, which the Chargers scored 2 plays later. They make themselves a lot of mistakes that are going to lose them some games along the way, and almost did last night. But talent-wise, I mean, you got to give it to what John Gruden and Mike Mayock have put together there. And honestly, Gruden's doing a pretty decent job coaching that football team that not a lot of people thought that he was going to be in this position in year number 2.
Not in a winning position, especially with what happened last year. The roster tear down. Sure, you're trading for picks, but that's still an odds game. Roll the dice. What you're going to get. The 2 first-round picks this year contributing. Yep. Cleveland Farrell. I know a lot of people are questioning the Clemson defensive tackle they took at the top 10. Josh Jacobs has been fantastic, and they've turned it around. And a lot of people are acknowledging John Gruden and what his coaching staff are doing with Derek Carr, who he's plateaued. I mean, he's not going to be the guy we thought he was going to be. Like, he's not going to be an upper echelon quarterback, but they've put him in position to succeed, especially when this offense was expecting of Antonio Brown. And they fell apart. He fell apart, and they kept on rolling. John Gruden kept them together. They're executing. They're running the football really well. And you take advantage of other teams' mistakes. And that's exactly what they did last night when Hunter Henry falls, pick 6, 2 more interceptions after that for Phillip Rivers, who now has a ton of questions moving forward, not just this season, but in the next year. At what point do the Chargers start taking into account, hey, what are we doing at the quarterback position? Because they keep playing these games where you're sitting there and there's just like 45 seconds left, and Philip Rivers has to go 80 yards to somehow win that game.
Yeah, no, I think it's now. I think you've got to start thinking of what the future is. And if you look at his class and the guys that he came in with, Eli and Ben Roethlisberger, I think both of those franchise are also saying about now, what are we doing about the future? And I think you have to. And I think he's still got some game left. To your point on, we didn't think, or Derek Carr won't be what we thought he would be. I think that statement goes both ways, because I do believe in the last couple of years there's a good group of people who thought Derek Carr was done also. And so to your point, as he plateaued, I don't know that he's going to be great. But I don't know that he has to be great. I think he's going to be good. And I think he's very smart and obviously has worked hard within the system. And John Gruden's given him a chance. I think John Gruden, I told you going into the season, I thought it was the two quarterbacks who it was the biggest year for were him and Marcus Mariota, right? And I think Marcus Mariota's gone the other way, and I think he will not be with Tennessee next year. I don't think the verdict's in yet on Derek Carr, but he's making a hell of a case that he will be the quarterback when they go into Oakland.
Yeah, I think the verdict is in. Carr is that above-average guy you can win with, but never going to be elite, and there's nothing wrong with
that. Is that like Matthew Stafford?
Yeah. Like you have a quarterback you can rely on. There's no question marks. You know he's going to be first at the facility, put in all the work you need, everything along those lines. And we're seeing it now with this Raiders team, which isn't overly talented offensively. They hit a home run wherever Darren Waller came from in that offense. But Terrell Williams coming over from the Chargers. Hunter Renfrow, really? Like this guy's stepping up, making plays. So they did a really good job, constructing that offense and getting a ton out of those players, which magnifies Derek Carr.
Yeah, I think all that's right. If you surround a good quarterback, not a great quarterback, with pieces, then that quarterback can be efficient in the National Football League. And I think that's what we're going to see here, and that's what we are seeing here. And it's working thus far this season. Even the games they've lost, I mean, they've been in games. His numbers weren't great. 21 for 31 for 218 and a touchdown. Okay, it's manageable. And they didn't. It's not like they ran the ball. They only had 278 yards of total offense, but they made stops when they need to. I think everybody expected when they missed the extra point that the game was going to overtime, right? Rivers was coming down, or I'm sorry, not overtime, that they were going to get beat on a last-second field goal, which is how the Chargers have won, not last game, but they won the game before that, and then now they've lost so many games. But their defense stepped up, even with a penalty on fourth down, a defensive holding penalty on fourth down to keep the San Diego. I'll say San Diego all day. I don't even care. When Troy Aikman and everybody else is San Diego, sorry, LA. I'm not going to apologize. When the Chargers made that mistake, Josh, how you living? Because I know you're a Charger fan over there, and it's another typical Charger loss, right? I mean, you're great. You can grab a mic. I mean, the thing
rinse and repeat.
It's like JJ said, it's the same game every week.
It is for you, except for last week,
and so the Packers where they turned it around and gave Chargers hope,
right? And so. And Josh is producer for you on the ProView Network, so you can watch the show statewide on Comcast Channel 26 and ProViewNetworks.com. As a Charger fan, every game is like that one that you saw last night, except for last week when they beat the Packers 31-11 or whatever the number was. And all of a sudden you had to have hope, right? They moved the ball against a good defense. They shut down a really good offense. And you got to think, all right, well, I mean, if we could take care of Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr's not going to be a problem.
Yeah. That's the Chargers, though. They'll dominate the NFC best and play down to the Raiders.
And they'll go to London. We're not going to bleeping London. A bleeping story. All right, so that's week one. Good morning, boys and girls. It's your opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Golden Hoser producing for you today over on the radio side. Josh Brown producing for you on television on ProView Networks, where you can watch us statewide. You can go to our Facebook page, the OD, because we're not OB, or the OD in the AM. We got a big day for you today. Big day. We'll take your calls at 246-0610 up until about 9 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, we've got in-studio guests and a big, gigantic message from your New Mexico United here in studio.
Troy Lesane, going to be in studio along with the
head coach, technical manager.
Gaffer.
All right.
We're just going to Google terms and just
good.
add them throughout the show. And the 2020 roster update for New Mexico United.
We're only about 4 months away from starting the season, So they're busy putting the schedule together. So the reveal will be right here live with Troy in studio coming up at 9 o'clock, and that's right about when Elephant Bar comes by and brings those eggs. Oh, Josh, you came on the
looking
right
forward to
day
that.
today. Have you had the Elephant Bar
Bar
eggs
day.
yet? Those are the bomb. Yeah, I figured for sure Alden would be here. He's always here when the food's here. And Jason complains, I'm never here when there's food. And yesterday he had Taco Cabin on. He killed it.
Wings and tacos so far.
Yeah, he's had a good week. Yeah, he's had a good week. All right, we're going to get into Lowell basketball tomorrow against Cal State Northridge. There's a little bit of breaking news in college football with the number 1 team in the college football playoff ranking and a guy that might be the number 1 pick in the draft. So I'll tell you about what's going on there. Tiger Woods, y'all. Let me go and play some ball. He going to play. What does that mean and when? I'll let you know. Lobo women's soccer update. They were in the Mountain West Conference tournament yesterday. Let you know how they did. We'll get to some NBA. Absolutely got to talk about Antonio Brown, don't we? Don't we always? Is he the new Brett Favre story?
He, in a awkward way, yes.
The one that just keeps on coming back and giving it? Doesn't go away?
Brett Favre, you're like, oh, Brett Favre, okay, yeah. Then Antonio Brown is just like, stop. And what happened
I was
yesterday,
that way with Brett Favre, just in a different
but it
way.
was-
You're right. Yes.
we're not dealing with allegations. Is the league going to suspend him? They did it at one point in
Didn't
time.
Brett
with
show his
the text
junk?
message.
He texted,
Absolutely.
yeah.
That happened.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Antonio Brown, you are Brett Favre.
I'm just saying the
Congratulations.
story's kind of
Congratulations.
It just doesn't go away. All right, come on in. 2460610, 8889-220-610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Chavez on a play action, and he's going to go for it deep down the far sideline, and he's got what? First down from the 16 handoff is Dorian, and he's in. Touchdown. The
Dorian Lewis with the hand up the middle, touchdown. Cleveland.
If he's ineffective, I wonder how long before turning that ball. Confident motion, he'll get it. Going to the edge, looking for the trick play right off the bat, and it might work. Open down the sideline. There's no red anywhere to be found. Touchdown, Eagles, fly, baby, fly on the opening play. He's dropping, he's looking. He's going to throw it deep. Cutter pulls out there. Ball is caught at the 10, the 5. Cutter, tie. Second touchdown on the night. He's looking towards Jackson. Jackson one-on-one. Kevin brings it in.
Wow.
Touchdown, Siembieda.
Man, was that a good throw and a fantastic catch by the receiver.
not too confident. Here's the handoff. Dorian's got all the room. Dorian a cut to the outside, and he's going to go to the 5, diving in. Is he there?
They're going to throw it. Looking, throws it in the end zone. Ball is caught. Touchdown, Clovis Wildcats. Goodness, what a play.
Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or DreamstyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Two receivers left, two receivers right, 3-0 Oakland, 6:20 to go in the first quarter. Rivers back in the shotgun. Play clock shows 11. Gordon lined up to Rivers right, lifts his right leg, hands in front of his chest, takes the snap. He's back to throw, he looks to his left. Now Rivers throws down the middle, intercepted again. Across the 50 to the 45, far sideline 40, it's Harris again. Down to the 25, 20, 15, 10-5, touchdown Raiders. Eric Harris picks it off and takes it in. And the Raiders are on top by a score of 9-0.
Yes! Eric Harris had a day, didn't he? That was courtesy of Westwood 1, I believe. Is that correct? Westwood 1. There is a penalty. There was always a penalty.
Yes.
Is there always a penalty on a field? Like Troy Aikman.
Flag on the play.
Every kickoff. Every kickoff. I think this is their way to just force you to get rid of the kickoff. Right? They want to get rid of the kickoff. They pushed it so you have a lot of touchbacks, but anytime there's going to be a kickoff, we're throwing a flag. I don't even care. We're just throwing a damn flag. Because there's always a penalty. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Hoser, and Josh. Glad you're with us on a Friday. Talk a lot of football today. Troy Lesane, the technical manager, head coach of New Mexico United, will be in studio coming up at 9 o'clock. They've got a roster announcement for you. Big roster announcement, huh? An unveiling.
Huge.
Yeah. No, we appreciate them. We're looking forward to seeing those guys come in.
Oh, I thought news was something else.
What do you think the news was?
Well, I heard this morning about they're starting to move forward on a stadium build.
Well, there's
maybe
some talk
within the
in
next 5
economic
years.
development's going to look at there's proposals. And there's talk about some capital funding for that would make
There's some big numbers being thrown out there that I don't know if they're.
Yeah. But that's not what this is about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not going to say, we got a stadium build. No, that's going to be somebody besides the head coach. All right, number 1 team in the college football playoff standings. Not BCS, as I heard on one of our other stations today. BCS is a archaic, expired
Doesn't
term.
exist anymore.
It's no longer a thing. But the college football playoff standings is Ohio State. They will play this weekend, and they will play without the most dominant defensive player in college football, would you say? Chase Young? He's a guy that you believe will be number 1, right?
I think he's be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft.
He's a Heisman Trophy contender. He has been dominant. He is being held out by the football team for potential undisclosed violation of NCAA rules. That came out this morning at about 6:30 this morning. He's a junior. He will not play against Maryland. They will beat Maryland. Why do I say Maryland? What is Maryland? It's Maryland. Mike Loxley catches a break, huh? Oh, big break. He won't play against Maryland. So it's a possible NCAA issue from 2018 that the athletic department at Ohio State is looking into, whatever that means. So it's funny. Josh just said, well, they could go from number 1 to out because if they have to forfeit all these games that he played in, I'm like, well, they'll still get in. Can they still win enough to get eligible?
That will be like 5 years from now. They'll be like, oh, and by the way,
we're going to vacate those wins, and he's going to be making zillions. Yeah, he'll be making zillions.
All this does is Chase Young is going to get an early jump on training for next year's NFL draft.
Yeah, and it hurts Ohio State, obviously, in the playoff. Assuming they get to the playoff, assuming they beat Penn State, assuming they beat Michigan, assuming they win the Big Ten championship. And he's a big part of what they do. So I guess you could say, all right, then are they still going to win? They've been really, really dominant. They've been dominant in large part because they're just shutting people down. They've been winning games by a lot of points. Their offense, I think, is the best offense that most people don't know about. Their defense has been incredible, and he's a big part of it. Now, will they win without him? I'm going to guess they will. Yeah, I would guess they would. But
it hurts, but this does not all of a sudden move them from 1 to 6.
Yeah,
you know, the outside looking in.
Agree with you. Totally agree with you. It's not like Alabama having to potentially play without Tua this weekend, although it sounds like Tua
that's
is going
a bigger question mark. We just all assume another ankle procedure for Tua, he's going to be good. That's going to catch up to him
at some point.
Like all of a sudden, we're just assuming Tua's going to be good. He'll be back out there. Well, we saw him struggle in Georgia last year.
Yep.
What happened in the playoffs? And yes, it's a state-of-the-art ankle procedure that he's been having. Like, keep having those ankle injuries, it's going to catch up to you, and it's got to be a bigger question. And that's why I'm leaning LSU right now.
You like LSU this weekend? What do you think the persistent ankle issue does as far as Tua in the draft?
Oh, you're going to hear about it every day, all
day.
day.
But ultimately, will it drop him?
I look at quarterbacks; they're always pushed up due to need. But I'm not feeling great about this class right now.
So you don't like Herbert
Justin
either?
Herbert, Tua Tagovailoa. To me, they're kind of feeling like that, not quite, but that Daniel Jones pick where they might drop a little bit. So might not necessarily see one of those guys go top 3, but easily top 10 quarterbacks coming in. A few more question marks for me because I'm concerned about that ankle. Like, how many times can that keep happening?
No, I think that's real. I think that ankle is going to get looked at and prodded by every team in the top 10, every team that might want a quarterback, every team that's thinking about trading into the top 10. Yes. And there will be teams that are scared away from it. I think absolutely they will.
And you have this surge by Joe Burrows, the LSU quarterback this year. He's coming up the boards, and they always know
if he wins
whether
this
it's
weekend.
Mitchell Trubisky, a Daniel Jones last year. There's going to be some guy we're going, what? Who now?
Yep.
He did what? And he's the 8th overall pick? Okay.
That's right. And he played where? At Coastal what? Yeah. No, I think that's probably right. I think that's right. But so that's big college football news. With Chase Young not being able to play this week, and to JJ's point, I mean, that could be the rest of the year. We'll see where that goes. The other really interesting college football story going into the weekend, and it's obviously LSU Alabama is huge, and we'll get there. Florida State, as they're looking for a coach, evidently is considering Deion Sanders. He coached the high school level. He's never coached college. He's never coached pro. The majority of his post-athletic career has been on television, right? Now, John Gruden just went from the booth to coaching. He's doing well, but he had coached before. He won a Super Bowl. I made the comparison before we went on the air to what Penny Hardaway's doing at Memphis, because really high-profile, beloved alum of that institution, going out and being able to recruit, who still resonates with young people and certainly with their parents. But Penny Hardaway had been coaching before. Deion's not coached at all, and I know people say you just surround yourself with good people and you just go you go do the hype, the Herm Edwards kind of a thing. Well, Herm Edwards has coached before too, and Herm Edwards is doing a heck of a job at Arizona State. You're shaking your head on this one too.
I could not think of a celebrity hire in college football, because Penny Hardaway was putting in time.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. So was Patrick Ewing, by the way.
Patrick Ewing putting in time. Juwan Howard putting in time as an assistant.
Yeah, they were grinding.
These guys were grinding.
Yes.
Deion Sanders isn't. He had his prep academy, he's hanging out, but it's a different level. Like, you can't sit there in your chair primetime Sunday night just kicking back and expecting people to sign with you because you're Deion Sanders. You can have a little bit of that, but even now, Penny Hardaway does not resonate to a 17-year-old. Like, you have to learn who the heck Penny Hardaway is.
But once you learn who he is, like once he gets in the door and a young man learns who he is, you're like, damn.
So Deion Sanders can have that same effect, but it's an entirely different ballgame when you got a roster of 125 as opposed to 15.
Yeah, I think all of that's absolutely right.
I couldn't think of one. Like, just a kind of just celebrity hire in college football.
Like a big name alumni coming back that hasn't coached. Now, there's plenty of guys who've coached at their alma mater. See, I can't think of them either. And I think you're going to see less and less because salaries are so big now. Like, guys aren't going to need to come back and coach. You know what I mean? Guys don't need to come back and coach anymore. Guys from this era, obviously, they make
it's
the
few
kind of
and
money
far
now.
between anyway of the players that
Well, they're okay. So as far as and it happens more in basketball, really, really good, like good to great basketball players that are coaching. Penny Hardaway, Patrick Ewing, Juwan Howard, Steve Alford was a great basketball player. Steve Alford's
he
coaching.
didn't have this fantastic pro career.
No, he didn't, but he was a great college basketball player. Yeah, they're few and far between. I mean, there's a few more that I know I'm forgetting somewhere. Bobby Hurley was a great college basketball player.
You see that all over the place. That's the main thing for college football. A lot of these guys are really good, but they don't have the celebrity status.
Yeah.
NFL Hall of Famer coming back. And
to your point, I cannot think of just a guy that was brought back as a big name that did not put in the grind. No, I can't. Especially in college football. I mean, Mullen at St. John's. Chris Mullen was a great basketball player, and he's back at his alma mater, like Penny Hardaway is.
That might, you see that every once in a while in basketball. There's not necessarily this build.
Well, there was a push here for Michael Cooper, right?
To get there. Cooper.
But he's been coaching.
Yeah.
He's been coaching,
which
is your point.
I think this is also, Florida State realizing that they're not getting an established name in football. Bob Stoops, Urban Meyer, is not walking through that door. So what's going to resonate after they just paid Willie Taggart to go away? Yeah. What can they do?
Well, I just don't think Deion's the guy there. I don't think they're going to decide Deion's the guy there. And again, it's great to be an analyst. And you can go be an analyst if you've been a coach and go back. I just don't know how you take that kind of a job. Now, if Coastal Carolina was doing it, Florida International was doing it, that would be a different story than Florida State, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Although that's his alma mater. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Hoser, and Josh on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Sports Animal time is now 7:26. Let's take a look at the roads here this morning. This report is sponsored by Slapfish. Hey, seafood lovers, the theme at both Slapfish locations is sensational, sustainable seafood. Order it your way with freshly flown-in fish specials, lobster rolls, tacos, or try the best fish and chips in town and craft beer. Visit Slapfish soon. Right now, the roads are looking well. We just have that report of a heavy backup on southbound 550. It looks like it's still kind of flowing fairly slow there. So if you've got an update on that one, if you happen to be on the road, make sure and call us on the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167, brought to you by American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center at I-25 and Comanche. This report is also sponsored by Duke City Urgent Care. Feel the flu coming on? Don't sit at the emergency room. In fact, don't sit anywhere but your living room. Medic Buddy from Duke City Urgent Care will come to your home and treat your flu symptoms. It's the modern day house call. Call 738-4100 or learn more at medicbuddy.com. I'm Josue with your sports animal traffic.
The Jim Rome Show.
The Sports Animal has been in existence a quarter of a century. This radio station is so amazing. I have been on that station 25 years. I'm really, really grateful for that. Really thankful for that. Albuquerque is an incredible jungle market.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Vicks VapoCool Drops. Oh, great. A sore throat keeping me from my extremely lucrative voiceover job talking about throat drops. Thanks, universe. Might as well try these Vicks VapoCool Drops. Wow, these VapoCool Drops are amazing. That's not candy dressed up like a throat drop. That's a super cooling Vapo Power Rush. It's like... Yes, I don't know where that's coming from, but yes. Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool Drops. Use as directed.
When we spend money on a home improvement project, we want it to look great, but also want it to pay for itself. I'm Scott Stigler. My friend Andy Pomeroy at Windsor Door Sales let me in on a little secret. A new garage door returns almost 98% of the cost in home value. Ever look at garage doors on your street? Honestly, most are plain and boring. But then there's the one that looks so classy. Upgrade yours by calling 345-6604 or go to WindsorDoorSales.com. Family owned and trusted in New Mexico since 1970.
Dear movers and shakers, we know how you roll, and we're with you on the tarmac or terrain in the 2019 RAV4. In the comfy Highlander with seating for up to 8 and advanced safety features standard. In the sharp 2019 Toyota Camry with its available cockpit red leather seats. And we're with you in the all-new 2020 Toyota Corolla, loaded with attitude and the latest tech. We're with you. Let's go, Toyota.
Right now, get $2,000 cash back on a new 2019 Tacoma. Visit Toyota.com for more details. Toyota, let's go places.
Includes TRD Pro. Cashback savings from Toyota Motor Sales USA Inc. does not include college, grad, or military rebate. Must be applied to the transaction. No cash payment will be made to consumer. Varies by region. See dealer for details. Offers end December 2nd.
Visit Toyota of Santa Fe, Larry H. Miller Toyota Albuquerque, or Larry H. Miller American Toyota. For more information, visit Toyota.com. Toyota.
Audible members get more. Give yourself an edge with the world's largest selection of audiobooks, the most inspiring minds and the most compelling stories, all in one app. Plus, right now, members also get free daily updates from the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Washington Post, all delivered right to your phone and always 100% ad-free. Listen to Audible and stay up to date anytime, anywhere. Start your free 30-day trial and your first audiobook is on us. Visit audible.com.
The Dan Patrick Show, today at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Hey! What's up, Friday? How you living? Where you been? Happy Friday to you, Hoser.
Oh, appreciate
Big plans this weekend? All of a sudden you got...
Big plans.
I know you were working on Saturday, and now that's been postponed to your open date.
Well, I'm still working.
Yeah.
No, a different job.
Is that better, Josh? Let me do that? Right about there? All right, 246-0610, 888-922-0610. Come on in and play radio with us today if you'd like. Your emails come in, Jeff at 610knml.com, JJ at 610knml.com. You can find us on the Twitter, _JJ Buck, on the Facebook, the OD in the AM. Charles in on replays. How's that like last week? What's with my emails, man? All replays, regardless of the sport, should be limited to 1 minute. If it can't be determined that amount of time, the original call should stand. I think I agree with you. Flags and replays have just gotten ridiculous in my sports viewing. They're just out of bleeping control. All right, I got to play this for you. So Tiger we had this conversation yesterday, right?
We didn't have it on air.
Okay, it wasn't on there. I couldn't remember if it was on the air. All right, so Tiger Woods is the captain for the President's Cup team. United States President's Cup team will play the World. It's in Australia in December at the Melbourne Golf Club, the Royal Melbourne Golf Club. It's not the same if it's not Royal, right? Like I played the Royal Hawaiian in Oahu. It made it different than just the Hawaiian Golf Club, right? All right, so he had some captain's picks to make. He picked Tony Finau, number 14 in the world golf rankings. He picked Patrick Reed and Gary Woodland, number 15 and 16. So those were captain picks. They were ranked higher than every golfer that's on the international team's 12-man roster, by the way. They better win, right? I mean, just the way they're ranked. And so they had one more pick to make. It's already on the team. Were qualified by points were Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson and Justin Thomas and Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele and Bryson DeChambeau, Webb Simpson, and Matt Kuchar. So he had one more pick to make. And you and I were saying yesterday, how does he not pick Tiger Woods, right?
Well, because the conversation changed so much.
Well,
I remember early in the year, I was like, Tiger's going to pick himself, isn't he? Like, he's got to be part of this team. I remember talking with you and then Nick at the time, and they're like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. And I'm like, how is it not going to happen? Well, he got back on track. He got healthy.
And he won in Japan last week. Ooh, that's a big ding. All right, and so this is Tiger yesterday announcing his final pick for the United States President's Cup team. This is him wearing his captain's gear and having his conversation as this is Captain Tiger Woods.
As captain, I'm going to choose Tiger Woods as the last player on the team. He's made 9 cups, and he's played in Australia twice in the President's Cup. So this will be his 3rd appearance there as a player. And I find it interesting I'm talking in third person.
I was going to say, third person Tiger is now my favorite Tiger. So let's see what we can do here.
I'm just having fun with it, you know.
Different Tiger, isn't it, than it was 10 years ago? So Tiger picks Tiger, as Tiger should have picked Tiger, don't you think?
Yes, after that win, no doubt about it. He's confident. He's healthy. He wants to play. That's what should have happened, and that's what happened.
Yeah. Tiger won the Zozo Championship last month. And I don't think there was a question. He had to pick himself. So he picked Patrick Reed, Gary Woodland, and Tony Finau to go with the rest of that team. And again, the international team has only 2 players who are ranked higher than anyone on the U.S. team. Adam Scott and Hideki Matsuyama, both ranked higher than Matt Kuchar. That's it. So the United States are overwhelming. They're minus 275 favorites to win the tournament.
They play better than they did in the Ryder Cup.
They best, yeah. Yeah. Do you care about the President's Cup now that you're big favorites and Tiger? You care that Tiger's playing?
Tiger is playing?
Yes.
Absolutely. That climbs my viewing list.
Yeah. Golf in December all of a sudden jumped up on your list, didn't it?
Got a little spicy.
Tiger Woods, y'all. I like how he played. You know, he's
such
played
a boss move.
It is
to be able
a
to do
boss
that.
move.
Like in with the final pick myself.
Yeah, who am I going to pick?
Captain me.
Me. Yeah, it's going to be me.
It's like when you get to pick first at recess.
I got
and
me.
it's already my team. I got the first pick, so boom.
I like how he said he's played in what, like 9 cups? It was very Steve Alford of him. You know, Alford always used to, like he knew, you know how he knew exactly, you know.
Try to act like he didn't know, but he knew
we won
everything.
like, what, 6 in a row, I think? And what have we won, Frank? You know, our last eight on the road. You knew exactly the numbers.
Like that, right?
Yeah, Alford was that was such an Alford move. It was so good because him and Frank would. I mean, obviously he knew his numbers. He's like, what, we've won like 8 in a row, and I think we're 6-1 in these games, and you know whatever. He knew all his stats, and he's averaging what, 27.2 points a game.
And Frank's like, yes,
Yes, Steve. Yeah, see?
Steve.
Yeah. You've done.
This, man.
I've done your
Don't
research
ask
for
me.
you, Steve. It's not even like Steve done. I've done your research for you, Steve. Yes, my numbers are accurate. And Tiger did the same thing. He's been in what, like 9 cups, I believe. Yeah, no, that's you know exactly how many. So that's good. Tiger's playing in the President's Cup, and I think that just upped the interest of everybody. And all of a sudden, you got December golf to watch while you're freezing, and you want to play golf, and they're going to be down in Australia. It'll be June weather.
Yeah, summertime over there.
It's summertime. Some summertime. Summertime. So I think that's good stuff. All right. Global basketball tomorrow at home. Cal State Northridge, 1 day out. Anything? Have you thought more about it? Had more discussions? Anything that popped off the page from the opener that maybe you didn't think or you think differently? Me neither.
Just string it together. You got a Cal State Northridge team coming in that, you know, Jane, the player of the year, the newcomer year, the freshman of the year.
In the Big West.
He didn't play game 1. So I have no idea what his status is going to be. Their best player might not play.
Who'd they play?
They lost to Oregon State 87-67.
Okay.
They give up a lot of points. They're not.
They did last year. Yeah, defensively they weren't.
Exactly the same thing they did last year.
Yeah.
They returned 3 players from that team, Gomez, Brown, and Harkless. They added the Cal JUCO player of the year last year in Lance Coleman.
Okay.
So they're getting some talent in there, but the biggest question mark is Jane, the 6'7", do-it-all guy for them. If he's not playing, then that changes everything for Cal State Northridge. And the local product, Michael O.
From an all school?
Only played 7 minutes the opener.
I'm sure he'll play in this game.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll get Michael O in the game. Jim Herrick, the former UCLA coach, is on their staff, and Gottfried, the former North Carolina State coach, Mike Gottfried, is their head coach. They play a little bit of a schedule now too. I mean, they after New Mexico, and they get Pepperdine, they get Auburn. They've already played Oregon State. They'll play Fresno State. So they go out and they go out and try to play some people, but they it was Tinkle's kid who went off. Trey Tinkle, right? Had a big night as they lost their opener. They were on the road.
Break.
But yeah, who plays and who doesn't is going to be the big deal, I think, as you get into Cal State Northridge when they come into the pit. 246-0610, 888-922-0610. What I'm reading right here, the matter is, who did you ask me about? John, right? Is that who you asked me about? I'm reading the Matadors will be without Jean for at least the non-conference slate. His production will be difficult to replace. That's according to the ESPN piece that I read post-game from Oregon State. So it looks like they will be without their best player when they come in. 246-0610, 888-922-0610. 9 o'clock this morning, Troy Lesane, head coach, technical manager for United, will be with us in studio with a big roster announcement that you'll want to hear. Looking forward to having Troy in studio then. We got a sweet deal for you at 8:20 as well. And we'll give away tickets to go see Journey and the Pretenders in the 8 o'clock hour. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Hoser, and Josh on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or DreamstyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales.
They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, #life change will occur.
I was just thinking, I asked these guys this question. On a college level, is covering New Mexico and New Mexico State like working in New York and covering the Jets and the Giants? Just week in and week out. No, JJ's point was right. Probably a lot more people care. But it's like, dang, you set it up, you get and you get beat a lot. You know what I mean? Just asking. Just on a college level. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Hoser, and Josh producing for you over on the ProView Networks today. 246-0610, 8889-220-610. Chris, how you living? Good morning.
Yeah, a couple comments following up on yesterday a little bit with Lobo basketball. This is, first of all, it's going to boil down to how they played together as a team on defense. I believe this year, just kind of a lot like it was last year. They just have a lot more depth. One of the things I really like is that McGee is going to be playing more off the ball.
I agree.
And I think his athleticism is going to be a big plus. I think on the ball he struggles at times. Off the ball, he's such a good athlete, and he has range. He has a lot of things. He really has a lot of hops. The guy can really jump. I think he's going to be a lot more effective off the bench, personally.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good for me to see him in that rotation too, because I was wondering where he was going to fit.
Yeah, and I just think him not sitting at the point. He has a lot of gifts on offense. Again, it's going to boil down to defense. The other thing is they were talking about Martin and who they thought he reminded of because he was lefty. A lefty or not lefty. He reminds me of Dyrese Gary. Is who he reminds me of, the way he plays. He's kind of a bulldog, and assuming they can control a little bit of the passing issues, and he had some of that. But I blame honestly, I blame the front line on some of that. They just weren't ready for passes for whatever reason.
Yep.
So I think there's a lot of potential here. It is potential. We shouldn't get overly excited early. But I definitely think if you can get them playing defense, they could be a handful along the way. And that's really what I'm looking for is a big improvement over last year.
Beautiful. Thank you, Chris. What do you think of what he said?
Yeah, I'm right there defensively. The buy-in defensively is going to help these guys come together in all areas of the game. The grind on that end and then going into offense. And I asked Zane Martin after the game, I'm like, all right, we're hearing it from everybody. We're hearing it from the coach about how talented this team is offensively, emerging the talent. So how are you guys going to do that with your egos? And he said in the moment, he's like, hey, we don't have egos. We're bought in, and we'll be fine offensively. But I just think if you grind defensively, the offense will come and get some easy buckets in transition, and then execute.
I think defense leads to so much offense. And we see that with the really good teams. The defense leads to a ton of offense. And I'm with you, and I want to see them play against a good team and see what they do offensively. It's one thing to play against Eastern and
these first
and with
4
North
games
without
they're
their best
putting
player.
up good numbers, and there's still going to be moments in the year with the lineups that they're going to put out there. The Lobos are going to play more high-scoring games. This is kind of just who this program is, even if they get better defensively with the tempo and the players they have at times. Now, Zane Martin, body-wise, I get the Dries Gary comparison. Nowhere near the same player on the court, though.
Yeah, I guess I haven't watched enough Zane Martin.
He's thicker guard, but he is all offense, and it's going to be like the Jaquan Lyles, the dude that's going to settle everything down.
That's what everybody tells me. Yeah,
you guys are out there running. All right, let's get this ship in the right direction.
Yeah. All right, 246-0610. Come on in, 888-922-0610. NBA last night, Clippers 107-101 over Portland. That meant Kawhi played last night. And Kawhi had 18 points in the fourth quarter. Second time this season he's done that, right after being held out, and they win again. He's surprised at that the NBA put out the details. There's been a ton of screaming over the last couple of days about load management. First of all, what were the Clippers wearing last night? Some blazer-looking Clipper jerseys. The hell
I like the jerseys last night. A little throwback for both teams.
Throwback to what?
Old 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago.
Clippers were?
Yes.
That's what they wore 30 years ago?
Yes.
All right.
They had some orange in there back in the day.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Buffalo.
It was like the Buffalo Braves. That's what they were wearing. Okay, they were the Buffalo Braves. That's where Ernie D and Bob McAdoo played. That's way back in the day. All right. And then they became the San Diego Clippers. San Diego loses everything to L.A. Clippers. Nobody wants the Clippers there. Man. Nobody wants the Chargers there. Padres moving up, too. That's all they got left. San Diego State moving up.
Man.
What?
What could have been?
I know. I think of San Diego could be Titletown right now. Well, not really. They could have the Clippers, but they don't. Too much being made about load management. Because it blew up everywhere.
Yes.
And it blew up because, they were Braves jerseys. I thought it said Clippers on it. They were Braves jerseys. They blew up because it was that guy and it was that network. And in a year where Kevin Durant's not playing, Klay Thompson's not playing, Steph Curry is out for an extended period of time, some of your biggest stars are out. Not all of them. LeBron's playing. Anthony Davis.
You have marquee major injuries that have nothing to do with load management. It blew up too much with Kawhi Leonard. There is a documented problem with tendons in this man's leg. Like, it's not just load management. Like, he has tendon issues, quad issues that linger. And he's going to be load managed. The ones that frustrate you is like, why was Russell Westbrook sitting last week? Like, those are the ones where you're like, well, what are you doing at this point in time in the season? Why is he sitting out a game? With Kawhi Leonard, there's a documented history. Like, the stuff in San Antonio went beyond just not wanting to be there.
That's right.
There was an injury history. Played 60 games last year, went all in the postseason. And right now, for Kawhi Leonard, that's what's going to keep him on track to be the best player dealing with those muscle injuries. And I get where he can be, where he's upset. Like, why is the NBA airing that out there? There's exactly what his issue was.
Because it became such a deal.
Yeah, but they should not be the ones that tell you specifically ongoing patella tendon injury.
Yeah, no,
the NBA should not be.
I agree. They shouldn't be. You asked why, and that's why.
But I think if you say that, fans are going to be more like, okay, he's hurt. Because fans, if fans show up,
it should have come from the NBA.
It's just like if Roger Goodell came out and said something about Ezekiel Elliott, Cowboy fans would lose their mind.
Yeah, it's where it's coming from. To your point, I don't think enough people realize that. And they just say, he's an athlete in his 20s, in his prime, getting paid $40 million a year to go play basketball, and especially why. And you can question, why did he sit out the nationally televised game as opposed to the locally televised game? And the Clippers are in a
Well, last night was on TNT.
It wasn't
on ESPN.
Yeah, it wasn't on their local deal. So why? And you can question that, and that's fine. What do you say to old school guy? Because to me, there's something to it, but then there's not. Who yells and screams? Load management is a term within the last 5 years, And it used to be a badge of pride to play in every game. You're in your 20s, you're in your prime, you're well-conditioned, you got better training, better nutrition, better everything else. Go out and play basketball. You get 5 months off, and you play twice a week.
I'll tell you what's changed on the other side.
You mean the better travel, the better hotels, the better nutrition, the better health care? I'm curious. Because I think there's something on both sides of that argument. We'll have that conversation next. 8 o'clock is coming up. 9 o'clock, Troy Lassane will be here. He's the head coach, technical manager.
30.
They will have a big roster announcement here live on the show. Looking forward to having a conversation with him. We'll kind of recap year number 1, which was an incredible success for
20.
New Mexico's professional soccer franchise. It's the opening drive. We're on ProView Networks around the state on Comcast Channel 26 and ProViewNetworks.com. And on your
10
at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
There's a new home for Lobo Talk, and you're listening to it.
Lobo Talk. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy.
Catch the voice of the Lobos, Robert Portnoy, right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Every week as he talks with Lobo coaches, players, and more. Lobo Talk, Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Do you love football? Then get with the program and get down to Hooters to catch the game, crazy good wings, ice cold beer, and the best fans on the planet. You love wings. You love ice cold beer. And who doesn't love the world famous Hooters girls? All the games, all season. Hooters.
Catch all the games at Hooters and enjoy great specials like a draft beer and 10 boneless wings for only $10. Served up by the world famous Hooters girls.
In most situations, it's easy to debate who is the greatest of all time. But when you need collision repair, there's only one clear GOAT. Quanz has won a Best of the City award for the past 6 years straight. Don't go to any collision repair shop. Go to the Better Collision Repair Shop at Quanz Auto Body. Our award-winning customer service and certified collision repair makes Quanz better than the competition. Make the better choice and visit Quanz Auto Body in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho.
At Isleta Resort and Casino, we know you love the fun and excitement of playing our Las Vegas-style games.
But remember to always play responsibly. If it ever stops being fun for you or someone you know, there's help 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 1-888-696-2440.
Visit the Responsible Gaming Association of New Mexico at rganm.org or call 1-888-696-2440.
At Isleta Resort and Casino, we encourage you to always keep it fun.
Elephant Bar Restaurant in ABQ Uptown is a scratch kitchen with craft cocktails delivered with genuine hospitality. We are excited to announce that we will be open for Thanksgiving this year. Let us do the cooking and come enjoy a traditional turkey dinner plate made from scratch turkey pot pie, a savory turkey and cranberry sandwich, or the mega turkey and steak combo dinner. And of course, pumpkin pie. We'll be open from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. Reservations are encouraged. Elephant Bar now features a midday mix and match menu with your choice of 2 items for $10. Also now serving brunch on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Elephant Bar also features a full sports bar and happy hour. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. and every day 9 p.m. to close. And this week, Elephant Bar Restaurant in Uptown is our sweet deal. Get $50 worth of Elephant Bar for just $25. All you have to do is log on to sportsanimалabq.com and click on the Sweet Deals logo. Again, Elephant Bar. We're open for Thanksgiving this year from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Reservations encouraged, and don't forget the sweet deal.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. When you're hurt in a car wreck, time matters. The amount of time it takes you to call for help, the amount of time it takes you to get medical treatment, and the amount of time it takes you to call an attorney can all affect the value of your case. We have a team of professionals and a network of experts who are waiting to begin working on your case the moment you call. The faster you call us, the faster we can get you all the money you deserve. In a wreck, need a check? Call Little Rowe Injury Attorney today at 544-4444. We're available 24/7.
Rowe can get you more. Call 544-4444.
Insurance Research Council, July 2014.
It's happening. Wherever plays are being made, tickets are being sold, and fans are lining up. ADP is designing a better way to work. With industry-leading HR, talent, time, benefits, and payroll, more companies rely on ADP than any other HR partner to help step up their game. From small business to global enterprise. See how ADP can help you and your people achieve what you're working for. at design.adp.com. ADP, always designing for people.
This hour's 4K&A national keyword is cheer, CHEER. Text it to 95819 for your chance to win.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, 610 KNML Albuquerque.
So, American League Silver Slugger Awards were announced yesterday. 9, one at each position, including designated hitter. 2 of the 9 are from New Mexico. Mitch Garver of the Twins was a Silver Slugger recipient as a catcher, and Alex Bregman of the Astros was the third baseman, American League Silver Slugger Award. Pretty cool, huh? Congratulations to those guys. Opening drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Josue producing for you on the radio side, and Josh producing for you on ProView Networks. All right, I'm curious, and we'll go to the phones here, but so the load management conversation, and it got really, 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 really big this week because Kawhi Leonard sat out a nationally televised game, the only time the Bucks play, and I know you poo-pooed this before, well, that's not fair. Downplayed. I don't want to say poo-poo, even though I did. I apologize. You've downplayed the argument of, you're in Cleveland and you spend money and you travel from Toledo and you drive all these hours.
Well, that was the Clippers home game Wednesday.
I know. This one doesn't matter in this situation. You're right. So as far as they're athletes in their prime, better nutrition, better travel, better everything. It used to be a badge of honor to play every game, but
what's changed is no one cares about the regular season. Every conversation we have, we don't talk about what you did in regular season. We talk about postseason. How many championships do you have? Yeah. That's how we measure good players in this format. When people talk amongst their friends, it's Michael's wearing this, Michael's wearing that. No one ever talks about Karl Malone or John Stockton. Or
Charles Barkley or Patrick Ewing.
Exactly. And then that flows over into the expectations for these franchises. These superstars need to be ready for 7-game series from the first round on. And that's why you get load management in the season. Yes, it sucks when little Billy doesn't get to see a superstar. I can't argue against that. I'm not going to say anything about it. But it's also, when you're a head coach, you're not concerned about, this is just a good night for us here. It's, what are we going to do to be in the best position to make the playoffs and then get into the postseason? And Kawhi Leonard is a different situation than others because of the documented muscle injury he had, where it's not just a sprain, like he has ongoing issues there. Now, Doc Rivers talked himself in circles, and that's why he got fined after all that when he said, he's healthy, he's feeling great, and why isn't he out there on the court? Then he gets the fine. It's a frustrating word to hear. People don't want to hear that. To everything you said, the nutrition, the travel, you're making X amount of money. Yeah. People don't want to hear that.
So it would have been better if he just lied and just said, hey, there's something lingering.
No, I don't think it would have.
Not a lie, though, Hoser.
I know it's not a lie now.
No,
but
they're going with load
comment on specifics when it comes to players' health. So anywhere. Go Bill Belichick.
Is there documentation or is it alleged common sense, the load management, sitting out a Tuesday night in L.A. in November and doing that throughout the season is somehow going to help you in March, April, May?
There's studies out there about rest and sleep and travel, so I got to assume that game time plays into that.
What if you held them out of a practice in between games instead of a game?
And you are hearing a little bit more about that as well.
It's like they're pro athletes. They're playing 4 to 5. They're on the court between practice and games 4 to 5 days a week for 3 to 4 hours. I mean,
no one likes the term.
Yeah,
it's messy. I was, like I said, last week when I saw Russell Westbrook was sitting this early in the season, I was like, really? But it's because when it comes back around, we care about what happens at the end of the season.
I also think these guys, they have a lot of miles on them. By the time they get to this level, especially if they've been playing AAU, they play summer long. Even some of the pros I've seen in their offseason, they're out there playing some pickup games. It's like they never really put it down
Hence
completely.
The load management. And so your argument would be for the load management thing.
Yeah, you got to just give yourself some time just to, let your body.
And the players we're talking about are the superstars that are leading their teams on postseason runs.
Yeah, and so if you go in the postseason, you're playing June, you get July, August, September, most of October off. You get 3.5, 4 months off. Now, what does off mean, to your point? Are you playing in the Olympics? Are you playing for Team USA? Are you playing, what are you doing? You're always working out. You're a professional. I'm struggling with it. I'm trying to understand it, but I am struggling with it a little bit.
And when you look at
go ahead.
Well, just like a player like LeBron James. Last year, he had it the first time an injury derailed his season. He played in 55 games. But the prior years to that, and I think a lot of people would look at LeBron as a guy that's getting near that load management moment. 69, 76, 74, all 82 and 17-8.
See, I would start to listen to it more with a guy that hits 33, 34, 35 than a guy who's 25, 26, 27. And I guess that's where I'm starting to, it's hard for me to pull the whole thing in. The guy who's 20, and Kawhi's.
But who else is sitting? Like, it blew up because of Kawhi Leonard.
Well,
Russ had off-season surgery. He's 30 now. So I guess that's why maybe they wanted to sit him early.
And it started certainly with the Spurs thing.
Yeah.
All right, Edward, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline.
Good morning, gentlemen. JJ encapsulated this with precision and accuracy with one statement. Nobody cares about the regular season. Nobody cares. And I think the NBA, they'd never do this. They could shave 20 games off their regular season, start the season a couple of weeks before Christmas, play 60 to 62 games, put some urgency behind their games.
But they do care. See, that's the whole thing. They do care, and they're selling a television package and they're selling a ticket package that they do care. And you can't from the same mouth have both sides of the argument. You just can't.
Well, no, I see your point, but load management was celebrated with the Spurs, who were considered the New England Patriots.
They got fined
of the
for
NBA.
it. It was celebrated in some circles, but the NBA fined them for it.
You're right, but to the lay person, to the lay fan, there's a new term for you. They were, they understood it, and it worked for them, right? And I'm not saying I agree with it, but when you reference back to our generation, Jeff, because we're a little bit older than Josue and JJ, if you talk to the old school guys, I would ask them, well, what if you could have seen 5 to 7 more quality years out of Larry Bird? Or 5 to 7 more years.
So you think if Larry Bird would have sat 20 games a season, he'd had 5 to 7 more years?
But they're not sitting 20 games.
All right, give him 15.
It's Kawhi with the injuries,
all
but
right, how many
other guys.
Yep.
There's no way that you're getting 5 to 7 more years out of Larry Bird.
Jeff, what is your memory of Larry Bird on the sideline, laying with the towel on his head and his back?
How old was he?
Injured. And then Kobe was a shell of himself the last 5 years. He had some big games, but it was a series of injury after injury. And those are the superstars of the NBA. I'm not saying maybe you get 3 more quality years.
So maybe you're right. I guess, to me, the data's not in. Let's watch this first generation of load management play out. Maybe you guys are right. Maybe you do get 3 or 4 more years. And I guess in that case, then yeah, it's worth it. I don't know that, I watched Kobe. Those are different cats, right? You weren't going to tell Kobe Bryant you're sitting out on Thursday night. Hell no, I'm playing, right? I mean, different mindsets. You can tell Larry Bird, was Larry Bird saying, yeah, no, I don't want to play tonight? It didn't never happen.
No, absolutely not. It wasn't the mentality. It wasn't the mindset back then. I get it. And I'm not saying I'm taking a stance. I'm just offering up a suggestion,
Understood.
Last night was a garbage effort I've been a Rivers fan. By the way, they have the best uniforms in the league other than the throwback.
Yeah, those are good.
Tampa Bay Buccaneer and New England Patriot uniforms. But what a garbage effort. It was just trash. Throws a pick 6, missed guys continually, and people have bad games. But, he and Eli should have retired about 4 or 5 years ago. Rivers, he may have a little bit of football left, but it was a complete garbage effort that we witnessed last night. And it's going to cost them, maybe their season was already over, but that was bad. It was really bad. Couple things from the NFL. I've demonstrated benevolence with the great people of Albuquerque, giving them gifts through the 5-star picks. I do have a couple of things this week. One point of interest, and I'm not picking this game, the 6-2 Bills are heading into Cleveland, the 2-6 Cleveland Browns. You know who's favored in that game?
Cleveland's
favored over the Bills at home. What an enigma. And they're probably going to win. But I do have 3 games, picking at a robust 53% this year. I need to have a solid week. Packers, going to cover the 5 against the Panthers at home. Your Rams, your Vince Ferragamo Rams, Jeff, I'm going to stick with them. I think they're going to traverse to the northeast and cover that 3.5 against the Steelers. And I always stay away from Cowboy games, but you know what's going to happen Sunday night. Cousins is going to crap himself in the red zone, and the Cowboys are going to cover that 3. Two other things real
favorites.
quick.
Three more favorites for
gonna,
you. You haven't picked a dog all year.
and I'm winning. Alabama's decidedly will win against LSU, probably by at least 10 points.
Disagree.
I'm guessing. And as much as we're all rooting for Minnesota, I just think Penn State's going to take the hammer to them this weekend.
Penn State's going to beat them by 21.
I am rooting for Minnesota.
I am too, but Penn State's going to beat them by 21.
You and I are thinking alike.
Yeah, except
well, gentlemen,
on the
have a great day.
Right,
I think Amari Cooper's a little more injured than what people think, which may impact the Cowboys the rest of the year, but we'll see how it plays out. Have a great weekend.
All right. I'm on LSU.
And I think just to finish off load management before I hit the break, it's a term that people hate to hear. I think it's not as big of a problem as it turns out to be. Fun fact for you, Kobe Bryant only started all 82 games 4 times in his 20-year career.
Is that because of injury or because of load management?
I don't know, but it's like it's just the mindset you immediately go to.
When
like
you say
that
he only started all 82, so did he play 80 games, 78 games? I mean, did he miss a game for injury?
There's injuries in there.
Yeah.
But even there's some years where it was 80, 77, 73.
It's a lot of games. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But other than Kawhi Leonard, show me the dudes that are sitting out 20 games a year right now.
Yeah, I don't think there are any.
Yeah.
All right. If you're on the phone, stay there. We'll get back. We're going to give away the tickets coming up at 8:20, whatever the next break is.
8:26, 27. We're on there.
Right after we do our sweet deal. Chris, we'll get you when we get back on the opening drive. How's Thanksgiving dinner?
So far, so good.
You guys better thank Emmy. Did you get some back there? Orale.
Sorry, I'm working.
Did you get fat?
No,
sorry,
not
I'm
yet.
working. These two guys are grubbing.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right, we're going to get you a sweet deal coming up in just a minute. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Hoser, Josh producing for you on television. I don't think Emmy's been in here since we've been simulcast. Did you know you're going to be on TV?
On TV?
Yeah, no, you're going to have to slide over to that
I can
seat,
slide over here.
and then you'll be on TV when we do that. All right, 2460610. Let's get to it. Chris, you've been holding, and I appreciate it. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, good morning, guys. Appreciate the show. Quick plug on the load management deal. I totally get the, paying customers. They expect to see their stars and players and all that. But I just think it should not be on the managers and the players to adjust their game plans and their load management just because of the fans. Let's not forget the team aspect, right? They're coming to see the team. But at the same time, I totally get the expectation from the fans. I think it should be in the best interest of the athletes' health and maximizing their performance. We're talking about winning long term. That's absolutely the most important thing. So it ought to be part of the risk you take as a fan. As if maybe the stars are playing that one game,
Chris, I'll
it's
disagree
kind of
with
a
you.
crapshoot.
Yeah, I see. If I'm a fan of Giannis, and I'm 12 years old, and I live in Salem, Oregon, and I drive up to Portland, and I'm a fan of Giannis. He sits out. Do I care about the Bucks on a Tuesday night? I don't know that I do. I see your point, and it's got to be.
Did you watch the game on Wednesday anyway?
No, I didn't. But I'm not that guy. That's not me. I'm not saying I'm that person. But to your point, they're going to do what's best for the team, obviously, instead of, as JJ said, little Johnny who's coming from Akron to Cleveland. Yeah.
Right. And I just don't think there's a good way to put it on the team, the player, the manager to account for that. I mean, they primarily, 95% of the weight should be on what is best for the team. If he's not ready to go that day or he needs to sit for rest, then it's just kind of luck of the draw, in my opinion. I'm always going to be a fan. I'll never be in the NBA or MLB or NFL, right? So that's come from a fan's perspective. And I don't know if this solution is going to be address that issue, but why not make slight adjustments in the ticket prices to account for that risk? I know it's an unpopular
they're not
in the monetary world, but like the league can make adjustments for that sort of thing if they really needed to, and then it wouldn't be on the team, the folks who actually have to execute and perform.
Right on. All right, man. Don't be a stranger. Thanks, Chris. Chris called us at 246-0610. You can get in there as well. 888-922-0610. I got a bunch of emails. Jeff at 610knml.com or JJ at 610knml.com. What is up? Wait.
We gotta get a mic.
Why don't we? Let's do this. You can touch it and pull it in. What is up?
Hi.
It's good to see you.
Good to see
you. You look great. Last time Elephant Bar was in here, you were on maternity leave. Brooklyn is your beautiful young baby daughter. How's she doing?
She is so good. She'll be 4 months tomorrow, actually.
Is that 4 months already?
Yes.
Well, Mama looks great. You're back at work and everything's good?
Feeling great, but we've got Thanksgiving coming up, and I'm ready to put my maternity pants back on and make it happen.
So a week before Emmy gave birth, I was at Elephant Bar for lunch, and there she is, and she's like, she came over. There was somebody else that was serving, but you came over and brought over the meal, and like, what are you doing? What are you running around for? Take care. You're like, no, I'm taking care of everybody.
Well, that's our business.
Yeah.
We take care of everybody.
Well, you do it so well. Elephant Bar is our sweet deal today. I promise you it will go like that within minutes, and especially when you hear what they've got going for Thanksgiving. Hence the Thanksgiving dinner, Josh. He's over there grubbing. You meet Josh
He's
yet?
so excited.
He's all fired up. Elephant Bar over in ABQ Uptown for $50 gift certificate. You will pay just $25 when you go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Right at the top of the hour at 9 o'clock, you will click on the sweet deal icon, and you will receive that great deal. Elephant Bar's extended its happy hour to Tuesdays from 3 until close. And Thanksgiving coming up in about 3 weeks. If you don't want to cook or don't have someone who is cooking for you, you do now.
So we have our Thanksgiving specials, and they are running the whole weekend. So not just Thursday.
But it includes Thursday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, we're open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., and we have a traditional turkey dinner. We have a turkey and steak combo dinner, and that one comes with a 10-ounce sirloin.
Really?
So come with your appetite if you're wanting that. Turkey pot pie and a turkey cranberry sandwich. And I thought the turkey pot pie was going to be my favorite, But oh my gosh,
Is that
turkey
all of it right there? Look at that. There's your website up on
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
Yeah.
The turkey cranberry sandwich, though, is hands down my favorite. It's
You
a
like-
ton of sweet challah bread. It has the cranberry sauce, the stuffing, and a white cheddar cheese all in the sandwich. It sounds funky, but oh my god.
No, because that's exactly what you do the day after. So why not just do it during?
Or go in on Friday and do it the day after. This menu.
No, I mean like you eat your classic meal,
Yeah.
and then your leftovers are like a sandwich, this or that. Just start with the sandwich.
But if you
don't
want to do it
have
the day after, you can.
Boom. Just that's not.
And pumpkin pie, of course. You can never go wrong with pumpkin pie.
I'm with you on the day of, or if you
Just
still
do it early. Boom. Sandwich.
Do it both.
Boom.
Do it both days.
Both days.
Be that dude at the table as everyone's eating that classic meal. Be like, you know what? I'm making a sandwich right now.
All right. So think Elephant Bar around Thanksgiving, but think Elephant Bar all the time because they still got the Tuesdays. You can go over and play trivia from at 7:00 and win prizes. The prizes range from $25 to $75. That's real gelt for you, boys and girls. The Elephant Bar also serves everything fresh and flavorful from American fare, including the top sirloin, the cowboy ribeye, Kona barbecue pork ribs, to globally inspired foods, things like street tacos, and herb-crusted lamb chops, and the Parmesan chicken and shrimp. If it's not one of your spots that you're going to regularly, you're missing out. And, of course, you got brunch on the weekend still from 10 to 2.
We sure do.
What am I missing? Well, I'm missing eating right now, but I mean...
Well, and the rewards. So when you sign up for our rewards, you get a free appetizer on your next visit, and you also start earning money immediately. So you get $5 off for every $45 that you spend.
You know it's one of my favorite spots, right?
I know.
You know it's one.
I know. We love seeing you.
Well, Elephant Bar also has the full sports bar for all you who want to go watch the games. They got happy hour weekdays from 3 to 7 and every day from 9 to close, right?
That's right.
All right, so get over there. It is our sweet deal. It is going live on our website right at 9 o'clock. Go over to sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the sweet deal icon and get $50 worth of gift certificates at Elephant Bar for just $25. And go by and see Emmy's smiling face. Thank you for feeding everybody.
You're welcome.
Thank you
You make
again.
whenever you're here, like you're all happy and smiley and just like you bring cheer. But do you see what it does to this whole building on a Friday?
Oh, y'all came running down the hall.
I didn't.
It's exciting.
I was walking, by the way,
Very
to refill
excited.
my coffee.
The
They were
coffee
running
report.
like
I was
him right
running.
there. I've never seen him move that. Okay, and Hoser, have you gone yet? There's
I just-
plenty of food. You will not
Oh, I
miss
know.
out. Emmy
I
brought
know.
plenty of food.
Yeah, I had to stretch
And,
this morning.
breakfast for dinner, but also Thanksgiving dinner for breakfast. It's double whammy.
Yeah, dude, it's 2019. Eat what you want when you want. You know what I'm saying? All right, it's good to see you.
to see you guys
Feel
too.
good and hug that little baby girl. I know you will.
Thanks.
Love on her.
I will.
All right, it's Elephant Bar, and that is Emmy, and it's great to see her back in. All right, we got those tickets we got to give away right now. You can win them before you can buy them. Journey and Pretenders are going to be at Isleta Pavilion on June 2nd. You've got a pair of them you want to give away right now, is that right?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, give them away to caller number.
Caller 6.
Right now, caller 6 at 505-246-0610. Caller 6, you'll win those tickets courtesy of your good friend Josue.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
And 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Local Union 412. Find a career with benefits, not just a job, at UA Local 412 Training Center. We are looking for plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC tech apprentices and journeymen. Call 505-256-9257. Local Union 412.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters! It's like it never happened!
Oh, when Emmy was here. Or I thought you were going to wait for
I thought
Troy.
about it. I thought about it.
Guest
but
host?
It's always awkward for them.
I know, that's why it's cool. Josh is all photo up.
did just eat some turkey, so I'm a little sleepy.
Is that why y'all tryptophaning out? I haven't had any turkey yet. See, that must be what it is. All right, opening drive, Jeff, JJ, Hoser, and Josh. Ho to you and happy Friday. 'Tis now Friday. See what I'm saying? Women's soccer, by the way, yesterday, 6-0. They got bounced out of the Mountain West Conference tournament by the top seed and host, Boise State Bronco. Ron said, women's soccer looked tired, Jeff. You could see how much that 99-minute match got to the point. Matt, let me remember your start. Jeff, you could see how much that 99-minute match to get to this point took out of them. Heather Dyke didn't have a lot of team left. Plus, I don't realize how depleted women's soccer was. So depleted, says Ron. I don't. If they would have had load management, maybe if they'd have managed, their minutes throughout the season.
They played a whole 9 more minutes the other day. And this is similar to what they do in a Friday-Sunday split. Boise State, your top 2 seed to get the bye into the semifinals. But I don't think it was a question of looking fresher. They were just more talented in the attack. And they hit them with 3 goals in 3 minutes midway through the first half. Oof. And then at that point in time, New Mexico just trying to open up the game, push forward, and gave up 3 more after that.
All right, there you go.
But they did have injuries, but I wouldn't say that they looked tired.
Or depleted.
They lost their best midfielder, Jesse Hicks. Cammie Floth tore her knee up. They responded well, man. It's sport. You go out there, you beat the 2 seed, 6-0 to end the regular season. That's San Diego State.
6-0. And then you
get beat 6-0 by the 1 seed. So
2460610, come on in. Hello, Grady.
Not in front of company, but on camera hoers of the OD.
I don't know why we wouldn't let us hoe in front of company. I don't understand.
It's funny. Sometimes
is he embarrassed?
When you can get it, right?
Oh man. Well, I mean,
some people's hoe skills aren't company worthy.
Just be who you are. That's all I'm saying. What's good, man?
Hey, I wanted to hop in on this load management thing. I'm going to piggyback on what JJ said, and JJ talked about obviously these folks, coaches and players, they're measured by championships. And I'll take it a step further. They're paid by championships. You don't see coaches and players getting multi-million-dollar, multi-year deals based upon 12-year-old little Jimmy's happiness. You don't see them getting these deals based upon how many kids they didn't disappoint or how many fans on a Tuesday night, felt good about watching them all play. So I look at it from the standpoint of until enough people stop going to the games because they're upset because their favorite players are playing on a Tuesday, it's not going to change. And as far as, Jeff, you wanting to see studies, I say the receipts are rings. Whether it's scientific or not, they go back to the Spurs. Well, shoot, they were one of the best dynasties around. Talking about LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard. It may have had absolutely nothing to do with the load management, but they say it did, and those dudes got rings, and I don't think...
Did the Warriors load manage?
I think so.
Did they?
There were nights when all those guys didn't play.
Okay.
Not to mention that they were super loaded talent-wise, but I'm telling you, it's in the, quote-unquote, it's in the atmosphere now that load management works. It brings rings, and there are these 3 or 4 people that'll show you all the rings, and they'll swear by load management. So any type of Harvard study saying, to the contrary, who's going to believe that?
Nobody will. You're going to use data to whatever you want it to say. I think common sense would tell you if you rest a little bit, you're better off. But I would also think common sense tells you that your medical treatment, your nutrition, your travel, your training is all better now than it was 20 years ago too.
Yeah, well, absolutely. That is absolutely true. That's inarguable. But I'll tell you, even with that, you still have only certain few people winning championships. And those certain few people
happen to be the best players.
Yeah, and they load manage. Yeah. And again, the two could be totally not related,
or they could be totally related. No, I think you're right. We don't know for certain, so we can deduct. How about that?
Yeah, but I'll say this again. Back to my original point. Because we can now hear a voice of disappointed fans just about as loudly as we can, an athlete or a coach as far as being upset with this load management. That doesn't change the fact that that just isn't high up on the priorities of making those people happy on those nights versus winning championships. To me, that's the bottom line, and that's why those dudes are paid what they're paid.
That's right. The bottom line is the bottom line.
You know what? Until that changes, that's just how it is. And my personal opinion, I'm all for load management, because as an athlete, if you are basically in control of your body and you understand that this is what works, and I'm willing to disappoint a few fans to, one, stay healthy, and two, win championships, to be the best player I can be. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that. And well, what do you tell the kid that drove from wherever? You know what? Sometimes life is disappointing, son. Sometimes you don't get what you want. Life isn't fair. You tell them the same thing that you tell them when other tough lessons come up. That just because it's a lesson learned at a basketball game because they didn't get to see their hero, so that happens all the time.
Buy a different jersey.
To me, exactly. Or let's check the tickets. Let's check and see maybe on the website before we make this trip. I don't know, but to me, that's not a reason at all, frankly, to change.
I think that's not right. You see a schedule. You usually plan those trips for that family who can afford one game and one trip a year.
What are we talking about here? Other than Kawhi Leonard, who's been load managing that hasn't been playing like sitting out more than 10 games?
No, the season's 3 weeks old. I don't know. I mean, I
agree. I agree, JJ.
I'm talking about
what are we talking about here? You're talking about one player, and Jeff, I'm sorry, that one family that can afford the one game that does that, you have to take that into account. Yeah. So it would be the exact same thing. And if he got hurt the day before in practice,
it would be.
They would still have that same disappointment. Now, they may not feel the same way about it, but it would be the exact same. They wouldn't be able to see their favorite player.
Yeah, I guess so it would be the same, but it would be different, is what you're saying. It would be different.
I think it would be the same.
But it would be different because you would understand it.
Because they wouldn't be disappointed.
Well, then it would be the same, but it would be different.
Yeah, well, I look at it from the standpoint, that doesn't matter to me. That is very low on the scale of things that would
I think
really
that's
make me try to push through that.
Yeah, and I think that's the common sentiment. I think it doesn't matter to me. It matters to poor little Johnny in Akron. It doesn't matter to Grady and Pecos, and I understand that. And I think that's the overriding sentiment. All right.
But that's not quite what I'm saying. I'm saying if I was an athlete, that wouldn't matter to me.
Right.
It nearly as much as my health. That's what I'm saying.
Understood.
When I say
and that's what I'm asking. How much? And that's all I'm saying. I'm asking how much does that affect your health? As we've watched it over the years, and I don't know the answer. You seem to, and I'm down with that. If you got the answer, okay. I just wonder how much it really affects your health. You're a professional athlete. That's what you do. Can you not go 5 times a week or 4 times a week? You got to knock it down to 2 times a week or 1 time a week. I'm down. If that's what the science tells you and that's what your body tells you, I'm down with it.
I don't seem to know the answer. I'm just telling you what these folks, they have rings as receipts.
Correct.
And is that scientific? Absolutely not. But until someone can come up with 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, or they may seem to know that, that's what it is right now.
Fair enough. All right, man. I appreciate it. No, he's right.
Time.
You're right. I'm not arguing with that. The rings tell are the bottom line.
Well,
the
my
bottom
thing
line
was
is the bottom
also
line.
you initially said, is this a problem or is it being overblown? It's absolutely being overblown. Who was the load management problem last year other than Kawhi?
And that's why I'm not trying to be. Although I kind of
there's one player.
Yeah, I've been kind of cornered into this, and I'm not on the total anti-load management side. I'm
like I think
pushed
when you're
into that corner.
My question is, it blew up because Kawhi Leonard did not play on an ESPN game, and the NBA had to make a statement about it. Yeah. No one seemed to care that he was playing on the TNT game the day after, but it was the ESPN game.
That's correct.
But you look at the last few years, and load management has been a term, but who's been load managed more than 10, 15 games?
I think that's fair. So, and we're going to go into the break, and I want to have this conversation on the other side. Do you think it's fair then for the ESPNs or the TNTs to say, hey, we're paying increasing every time the rights fees increase, and we're getting more increased load management, and I'm sure they've got the data on this. I don't. How many times did they do a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night national game where a star has been load managed? They've got the data, how that would affect their ratings, and why should they continue to pay increased right fees? I'd like, do they have a fair conversation? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Sports Animal time is now 8:42. Here's your final look at Friday morning's commute. Right now, we just have a few minor accidents that are still active. Minor crash I-25 southbound right at Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. We also have that crash at the intersection of Irving and Unser. And as far as I know, that heavy backup on 550 is still going on. If you see an accident, make sure and give me a call on the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center at I-25 and Comanche. I'm Josue with Sports Animal Traffic.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Today's birthday shout-out goes to Giancarlo Stanton. In the off chance that the Yankees owner, Hal Steinbrenner, is wondering what on earth to get the 2017 National League MVP for a milestone birthday, the 6'6", 250-pound slugger has been dropping some major hints as of late. You never go wrong with Garrett Cole and Steven Strasburg, Stanton told TMZ, adding, "Let's go, both of them." We're talking about having the Bronx Bombers shell out mega bucks here, folks. However, outrageous contracts is one realm in which Stanton is intimately acquainted, with $244 million and 8 years still remaining. Stanton's deal cost the Yankees an arm and a leg for sure, which is also what the four-time All-Star outfielder lost to injuries via assorted biceps, shoulder, knee, and quadriceps issues. That sidelined him for 90% of the season. So happy 30th birthday, Giancarlo. Hopefully you're healthy. I'm Boomer Esiason.
At Quicken Loans, our 17,000 team members know that home is so much more than a house. That's because our clients tell us all the time. Hey, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, and we want to help you save money on your mortgage with some of the lowest refinancing rates ever. Rates are historically low. You may be able to reduce your rate and save money on your monthly mortgage payment right now. Pay off some credit card debt, or put some money towards that new bathroom or kitchen you've always wanted. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%, APR 4.18%. That's right, 3.99%. While we can't predict what will happen in the future, we do know that rates have dropped, and now is the time to save money on your mortgage. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn how refinancing now may be the right mortgage solution for you. That's 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.375% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
There's a new home for Lobo Talk, and you're listening to it.
Lobo Talk. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy.
Catch the voice of the Lobos, Robert Portnoy, right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Every week as he talks with Lobo coaches, players, and more. Lobo Talk, Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Mrs. Claus wants our home renovated.
Then you need Rudolph's Rockin' Renovations. Win one at Isleta.
Win one of 16 home renovations from Dream Style Remodeling.
Rudolph's Rockin' Renovation.
Now through December 22nd at Isleta Resort and Casino.
Elephant Bar Restaurant and ABQ Uptown is a scratch kitchen with craft cocktails delivered with genuine hospitality. We are excited to announce that we will be open for Thanksgiving this year. Let us do the cooking and come enjoy a traditional turkey dinner plate made from scratch turkey pot pie, a savory turkey and cranberry sandwich, or the mega turkey and steak combo dinner. And of course, pumpkin pie.
Daniel Bruce in the kitchen.
Till 8 p.m., reservations are encouraged. Elephant Bar now features a midday mix and match menu with your choice of 2 items for
excited announcement coming up here in studio, coming up at the top of the hour at 9 o'clock. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and Hoser, Josh producing for you on ProView Network after his big Thanksgiving turkey breakfast. Hello, Lee. Thanks for holding. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. What's up, Lee?
Hey, guys. How you doing this morning? Thanks for taking my call. So I just wanted to weigh in on the resting player situation. I grew up playing sports my whole life. I still play sports as an adult today, and you do get injuries, you do get nicked up and banged up, and the older that you get, the more time you need to heal. I completely agree with giving these professional athletes a game off here or a game off there, and I understand 100% as a fan that you might have that family that's saving up all their money for a family trip. They planned it a year out in advance, knowing that they would want to go see that star player. But sometimes that's just the nature of the beast when it comes to professional sports. I mean, we all have sick days as regular people in non-athletic jobs. So athletes, it's a rigorous season, and they should be able to take a day off. Now, my only argument to that, though, is if you are going to take a day off and you're not going to play, then maybe they should mandate the players are more accessible to fans before and after the game, maybe for autographs, maybe like a meet and greet. And that way you still have an opportunity to see your favorite player and maybe even more of an opportunity to meet them than you would have had. So I just wanted to see what you guys thought about that.
Thank you, Lee. Appreciate it. What do you think of that?
I think that's a very interesting idea because I think in the moment we're all focused on Kawhi Leonard, but I've been looking just last year, trying to think of the superstar. Other than Kawhi Leonard, it's not an epidemic. Like, there's not a guy that sat 10, 15 games in the last year or two that hasn't been dealing with an injury that's kept them out a little bit. Like, James Harden played 78 games last year. LeBron 2 years ago played 82. Like, I'm just trying to find where the tipping point has been. Now, the NBA has addressed it, to your point, Jeff. You can be fined up to $100,000 if you sit a player on a nationally televised game. Yep. So they're trying to address it. I don't think, other than people hate hearing that word, and then immediately, load man, y'all are soft, shut up, they didn't do this back in the day. I really can't find anything, just recent history other than Kawhi Leonard, where it's an epidemic in basketball.
And like I said, I know I've been painted in the last two segments as being super opposition to this, and I'm asking the question on it. I understand it. I also understand the other side of it, and I started this whole thing by saying is too much been made of it because it was an ESPN game and it was Kawhi Leonard this week, and I felt that way as I was watching every screaming head scream about it this week, and so I this isn't where I thought this would go. I think you get your boy Grady all fired up on me. Grady's like closer to my age, but I think he always takes your side because it makes him feel younger. That's what I believe on Grady. I do. He takes your side on every argument because it makes him feel younger and hip and thinks he's going to grow his hair back. That's what I'm kind of kidding.
Makes him hip.
Kind of. I think that's where he's going on that.
But he does it so kindly, so subtle.
Does he?
It's like,
does he? Is it really that kind?
I agree with my man JJ.
Yeah.
Gotta listen intently at times. Conversations can get a little...
Yeah. No,
shots fired.
Look, I get it. I understand why they do it, and I think I do get it. And the more you learn, right? I'm sure you got more of your medical people saying, you know what? I mean, a day off every month or every 3 weeks. Yeah, so a day off. We all take your day off on Thursday.
Yeah, it's like we all wish we could be making $150 million and have load management
and just play when we want to.
But it's not an epidemic right now in the NBA. It's just the best player in the league is at the forefront of it right now with Kawhi Leonard.
I want to tell you about IPS, International Protective Service. That's a security company I trust to watch my home because I know there's just not enough police to respond to all the home break-ins and all the alarms that go off around town. IPS patrols my home. I was out of town last week. They came by. I forgot to tell them I was back in town. Sunday afternoon, there was the officer looking around the house and making sure everything was okay. What they do really gives us peace of mind at our house. Hundreds of homeowners and business owners in Albuquerque
30.
They rely on IPS to protect their property. So if you've got a trip coming up, IPS can patrol your home. They'll move your trash cans to the curb and back, pick up your newspaper, your mail.
20.
Didn't look. Call them at 897-2420, 897-2420, or go to ipsglobal.com. Don't wait until something bad happens. Let IPS secure what's valuable to you.
10.
897-2420. United. Big announcement when we get back in studio on the opening drive.
Chavez on a play action, and he's going to go for it deep down the far sideline, and he's got what? Down from the 16 handoff is Dorian, and he's in. Touchdown. The
If he's ineffective, I wonder how long before Hoffman in motion. He'll get it. Going to the edge, looking for the trick play right off the bat, and it might work.
Wow.
Open down the sideline. There's no red anywhere to be found. Touchdown, Eagles, fly, baby, fly on the opening play.
He's dropping, he's looking. He's going to throw it deep. Cotto pulls out there. Ball is caught at the 10, the 5. Cotto, second touchdown on the night.
Looking towards Jackson. Jackson one-on-one. Kevin brings it in.
Wow.
Touchdown, Siembieda.
Man, was that a good throw and a fantastic catch by the receiver.
Not too confident. Here's the handoff. Dorian's got all the room. Dorian a cut to the outside, and he's going to go to the 5, diving in. Is he there?
Throw it, looking, throws it in the end zone. Ball is caught. Touchdown, Clovis Wildcats.
Goodness, what a play.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier.
And Judith Jenkins, the Hall of Famer that does. I must look like crap today.
No, you look good.
She looked at me. She's like, "You look tired." What do you say to someone when you're walking down the hallway?
You know what you say? I need some load management.
I just went and got more coffee. I'm like, damn, and I'm looking at myself on the monitor. Old, fat, and bald. I get it, but whatever. Good morning, happy Friday to you. It's your opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Josue is producing for you on the radio side. Josh producing for you on ProView Networks on the video side. Looking forward to this. And this is kind of a big day for us and a big day for you. I think everybody in New Mexico is proud of what New Mexico United did in year number 1, and just the way that they've taken, not even just the sport community by storm, but really everybody's recognized what United did as a franchise, certainly on the pitch, but in the community as well. Troy Lesane is here. He is the head coach and technical director, technical manager. How many titles? How many ways are there to say head coach?
Well, it's kind of a GM role, the technical director. So that's why it's framed that way.
It's good to see you, and I know you and JJ have talked a lot about this, and you wanted to bring this young man in today and make an announcement and kind of do a roster update as we get ready for. It's only 3.5 months away now, right?
I know. It'll be here before we know it, and that's exciting. We're all chomping at the bit to get back on the field.
So you announced, what was it, 2 weeks ago, the first round of contract renewals, correct?
Sure. Yep.
And there was a base of the team and a lot of favorites and a lot of big names and a lot obviously a lot that goes into that. And you wanted to make an announcement here, I know, again today for a guy that's become a fan favorite, and I think a lot of people are going to be really happy to know that he's coming back.
Yeah, well, the name of the game for us from 2019 and everything that we built in the first season going into 2020 is the word continuity. We want to build on the foundation that we've established, and we have such good people in our organization, and our players that we're bringing back are top-notch people first and foremost, and then top-notch players as well. And so we want to keep adding to that group, and the one that we have with us here today is a young man that I think became a fan favorite. And it's really exciting for us to continue to bring back guys that help establish our identity in year 1, and Daniel Bruce, who's sitting beside me right here, did that in a big way, and I'm just thrilled to bring him back to the mix for 2020.
It's good to see you smile like that. I guess that means you wanted to be back?
Oh yeah, wanted nothing more.
Well, so this is a crazy year, right? And all of you guys have done soccer at different levels in different places.
Turn them up a little, Jeff.
What made this place so special?
I mean, coming here was nothing short of a dream come true. Signing your first professional contract under any circumstances is an amazing thing. But to have, the fans that we have here, who individually all want to make this their own and want to make it something so personal to them and this team, and get behind the team and the squad, and then be around the teammates and coaching staff that we have here, who first and foremost invest in you as an individual and a person, and then as a player. It just made so much sense.
Darren, what has the year been like for you? You come out of college, you're playing professional soccer for the first year, and then you're already, all right, now I'm in this side of it. Do I renew? Do I go somewhere else? Just what has just the last year been like?
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. It has. Obviously, coming from college, you want to sign pro, and that's the dream. And to do that, like I said, under any circumstances, is an amazing thing. But to come here and make my professional debut in front of 15,500 people screaming was it feels like you're still living in that dream right now. And the season came to an end, and I wanted nothing more to be here for a second year.
It's a pro contract. It's your dream. But once you got here, what was the experience like? Did you have any idea other than, hey, I'm going to be playing pro soccer, of what this was going to turn into?
I mean, soccer is soccer. It's the beautiful game. You get to play that in and every day and be a part of a locker room. Things that do change are obviously individuals. And it was very clear when I first came that the coaching staff and Troy had a very clear idea of who they wanted to bring into the locker room. So to be welcomed into the locker room from day one with the kind of guys of the caliber that they have is something that was just so wonderful to come and kind of hit the ground running, be welcomed into a locker room like that. Was fantastic for me.
He's Daniel Bruce, who just announced here seconds ago is re-signed and will be back with New Mexico United next year. Troy Lesane is with us as well in studio. Troy, we've heard the players talk about it all year, about the atmosphere and what the organization has meant. When you came here about a year ago now, right? You started something from scratch. You and Peter kind of put together, and I know when you start something from scratch, it's great because you don't have a palette of what it was like before, right? Right. There's advantages and disadvantages. You're starting it from scratch. You're creating something that's never been here out of dirt, and there's a whole lot of obstacles. But what you don't have is, well, we used to do it this way. So there's a lot of good to that. You wanted to do it your way, and when you hear every player, the people say what they've said about what you've created, the way you've treated the players, I got to believe there's a sense of validation, a sense of pride that we're on our way to creating something really, really special.
Absolutely. I do think what we created in year one, without a doubt, was extremely, extremely special and unique. And, I got on the job in August of 2018, and the first 3.5, 4 months, besides just trying to figure out who the players were that we were trying to target and go after, probably the most important thing that I did was try to connect with the community. I went out to so many different, events, soccer events mainly, in terms of trying to connect with a lot of the youth players, a lot of the youth coaches, but then even, going to Marble or going to Star Brothers and just connecting with, people in general and just trying to get a feel for what the community is like in New Mexico, because I was a guy from the Southeast, didn't know a lot about, the Southwest. And what I, understood more than anything is I wanted to build a club in year one that really resonated with the image that I felt like I was able to decipher based on a lot of the conversations I had. And that's one of hard work, humility, and diligence. And every single one of our players has bought into that ethos. We wanted to have reciprocal relationships where we're not asking just for everybody to come support us and we don't, go the other way with it. We want to be right back out there and support those that support us. And again, I can't get that done without players like the ones we have returning, players like Daniel Bruce. That's why Daniel Bruce has hit home with so many people in New Mexico, because he carries those characteristics.
So there's a term, and we use it all the time in American sports, culture. Maybe the word in soccer is ethos. Maybe, but when there, what would be the culture? And maybe Daniel, this is for you to answer because Troy's trying to create it. You've played in it. What is the culture or the ethos of this club that makes it different from other places you've been?
Yeah, it was very stringent, stood out to me from day one. I mean, the hard work, humility, and diligence that Troy just mentioned. Walking into the locker room, it's clear that there aren't individuals in that team. New Mexico United is a collective together. The entire team is working, whether it's in training, on game day, in the field. I've never been in a squad that has been so together. I mean, there were tough moments in the season when we weren't maybe getting results or players weren't playing as much as they wanted to play, and still we were all moving in the same direction, smiles on our faces, willing and wanting to fight and move forward. And that's very rare, especially at this kind of level, that you have a squad that's so together like that.
Now, Daniel, for you, is that something that has to come from both the players and the coaches to send that message to where you have players to lean on that can pass those things along?
Yes, definitely. I think obviously the standard is set through those making the club from day one, but also I feel so fortunate to be in a squad with the leaders we've had and the older guys we've had. Dev Sandoval, David Estrada, Josh Suggs. These guys have been unbelievable in the way they've communicated to us young lads, the way that they've set the standard in training. It's been, I feel so fortunate to be in a team with those guys, and those older guys have really set a very good standard for us.
And Trey, I was interested when you said that, when you came in, you hit the ground running, and you were pounding the pavement everywhere. Before you got here, how much research did you do on Albuquerque, on New Mexico, or did you just try to come in with an open mind and take it day by day?
Definitely did some research, through that process of interviewing with Peter, and you guys know the story by now, but I had to convince Peter just for an interview. He was telling me on our phone interview together in the first 5 minutes, he knew the direction he wanted to go. But then we had a phenomenal conversation. There was a lot of synergy between us, and I think, from then I started looking and trying to research what the city was like. And just to touch on Peter again, Daniel mentioned it about the players and the people that are involved, our staff, but really and truly the image of this club. I mean, Peter's spirit and his energy, it's the fulcrum of our club. It's the identity of our club, and I don't say that just to kiss up to the owner. It's if you've been around in 5 minutes, that. I did a fair amount of research, but more than anything, and Peter knows this, I wanted an opportunity so desperately to put my stamp on something as a head coach, and this was a tremendous platform here. It was a blank slate, as you were talking about. It was a clean slate. I could build it in the way that I wanted to without anything prior to it being set in place. And it was better than I expected in year one, for sure.
United head coach Troy Lesane is in studio. Daniel Bruce is with him. It just was announced Daniel Bruce is going to be back next year. When we come back, these guys are staying with us for a little bit. We're going to talk about the future and what does a roster look like next year? How do you build? You've obviously got a heck of a foundation with a bunch of guys that are familiar coming back. What are some thoughts on moving forward and building on what the foundation was in year one as we continue the head coach in the newly re-signed Daniel Bruce of New Mexico United. Hey, mortgages and home loans can be complicated, but you can take the mystery out of home loan buying with Kirtland Federal Credit Union. Head over to their website, find blog articles about how to get mortgage ready, and learn about the available mortgage programs. Kirtland Federal Credit Union also offers seminars so you can gain firsthand knowledge of the process, and you'll meet the Kirtland Federal Credit Union home loan team. Be sure to check out their next Home and Brew event. It's hosted at local breweries. Home and Brew events invite you to drop by after work, have a beer, and get a fun look at the mortgage process. Ask your questions and meet the Kirtland Federal Credit Union home loan team and take home some fun goodies. To find the next Home and Brew event, head to their website at kirtlandfcu.com/events. That's kirtlandfcu.com/events. Kirtland Federal Credit Union, they are more than military. They are for life. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender, federally insured by the NCUA.
4K a day. Your chance to win big just by listening to us. Listen weekdays for the national keyword at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. When you hear it, text the keyword to 95819 and you could win $1,000. What can you do with the money? Anything you want. Message and data rates may apply. 4K a day, sponsored locally by Fiesta Kia. A huge selection and a doggone great deal. Get ready to win on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. If the insurance company's treated you fair after you've been in an accident, we wouldn't be in business. They have teams of adjusters, investigators, and attorneys that are all working against you and want to pay you as little as possible for your injuries. When we call, the insurance companies listen. We'll fight hard to get you all the money you deserve and to keep you out of the courtroom. Don't settle for less. Call Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys today at 544-4444. The call and the advice are free.
Lerner & Rowe can get you more. Call 544-4444.
Insurance Research Council, July 2014.
Where sports and culture meet the weekend.
Local events,
concerts,
spectacles,
what's happening,
pulse of the city,
sports, and much more.
Hey guys, come join the conversation with Van and Fred every Saturday starting at 7 a.m.
ABQ Central, Saturdays from 7 a.m. till 9 on The Sports Animal.
Grandpa, get in the kitchen.
Grandpa, I need you in the parking lot.
Go here, go there. Ava's so bossy.
Get the mop, Grandpa. We've got a spill at table 5.
Stella, not you too. I've already got one boss, your sister.
We're a team. Get used to it.
2 bosses? They've come running in all directions.
We understand at your age it's hard to keep up. Just go visit with the customers, Grandpa. Monroe's on Osuna in the Heights. And coming soon, the new Monroe's downtown at 4th and Mountain.
Call us up at 246-0610 or 888-922-0610. Brought to you by Quan's Auto Care, Collision and Mechanical Repair. We make it better. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Jeff Siembieda here for my friends at New Mail Medical Center. I've been telling you about them for a while now, and here's why. Because they're the innovators. Anytime you have an original idea, an original concept, you've got someone who comes along and they see the success of the original concept. They try to make it their own. And unfortunately, it's usually just a cheap imitation. Well, not with New Mail Medical, because they're the ones who got out in front of this. Testosterone replacement, ED treatments, they're the ones who have been leading the way in the nation for sexual health procedures and providing thousands of men in the Albuquerque area alone with that help. New Mail Medical, it starts with your first visit, and they're going to be with you every step of the way. Call them at 505-652-1688. When you go there, your first visit, you will feel very comfortable. You'll be relaxed knowing they're going to be with you, guiding you with whatever you need, any issue you may have. They're going to be the ones helping you from here on out. Go to newmail.com, NUMALE.com, or call 505-652-1688. That's the number. Don't see a cheap imitation. Go to the originators.
What are you doing? What is all this? Trying to see if I can win on these scratchers. Duh. Okay, how much have you won? $2 so far. And how much have you spent? Don't worry about it. Okay, well, why don't you use your luck and come with me to American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center? Oh, I'm always ready to go there. Wait, why? Well, we need to get a new mattress, and right now we could win ours for free. Seriously? Yeah, buy our mattress at American Home between now and December 1st, and we'll be entered into the weekly drawing to win it for free. We can save up to $1,000 on the best brands, too. Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Bedgear, and Nectar. Whoa, you're right. And Sealy Queen mattresses start at just $299. Plus, we can get an Amazon Alexa gift with a qualifying mattress purchase. They even have full 1-year comfort guarantees. Hey, let's see one of their sleep specialists and get a free mattress fitting. Better sleep, more sleep. Get it today and win. Let's go to the American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center, I-25 in Comanche.
If you've been injured because someone else was texting or not paying attention, you need a lawyer. I'm Ron Bell. You know me. You know we can help. Injured? Call 898-BELL today.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Tech the Wall, win cash and prizes. Thursdays and Saturdays in November. We've Tech the Wall with this season's hottest devices, plus your chance to win up to $10,000 cash. It's the 400K Tech the Wall, only at Route 66 Casino Hotel.
At Route 66.
Catch the Sports Bar with Michael Carlisle and Mike Trujillo. Local talk today at 3, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Really special day for us on a Friday in studio. Troy Lesane and Daniel Bruce of United. Troy Lesane, the head coach, and just announced that Daniel Bruce will be back for a second year. Agreed to a contract extension. Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
It's watching the whole roster come together for a second year is pretty special. Troy, as you put the roster together, and I think I mentioned this earlier. I remember sitting in the airport. I was going to Reno this summer, and I saw your club in the airport, and then we had a layover in LAX, and LA Galaxy 2 was on our flight going up to Reno, and I noticed the difference just in look. Right? Your team was so much younger, or so much older looking than theirs, so much more mature looking, and they seem to be 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and I understand the difference in the developmental team and then the Galaxy signing players, but as you put the team together, because you said at the time, yeah, that's by design, that's what we were looking to do, and now you're looking to put together next year's squad. Does the design change, or is the philosophy the same?
Yeah, I think the philosophy is still very much the same in terms of trying to get veteran guys that have experience in our league, and maybe that's the addition as we talk about who we want to add that goes beyond players that we want to bring back from our 2019 roster. As we start to add new players, that's probably part of that equation for me, is try to get guys that have a little bit more experience in terms of the playoff experience and championship experience. I mean, that's the goal, because I think the level of expectation from year 1 to year 2 has certainly gone up, and everyone wants to see what we can do in terms of trying to bring a trophy to the club, and that's our goal. So
I'm going to guess reception, while probably was decent last year, is better this year because you've got word of mouth, and whether it's Daniel or Devin or anybody who goes out and you're recruiting players to come here, they're probably 1 or 2 degrees separated from each other, and word of mouth gets out, and all of a sudden this is probably a really desirable place to play.
When you are a player, your dream is to play in front of a crowd where it really matters, and not just numbers, but then also in terms of engagement. And so, I mean, to be able to have the atmosphere that we have with our fans, we have the best fans in the league, 12,000 plus on average, with crowds of up to 15,000. Players see that around the league, and those conversations are much easier than they were a year ago. A year ago, it was convincing every single player on the unknown. And now we have, we've built so many good things, a culture, a system, a style, and then most importantly, a community.
Yeah, and from a player's level, I mean, so Daniel, you and Troy had a background. You knew each other from Charlotte, but I got to believe now is there's probably players that you know that want to come here, and word of mouth, and it's got to be a better reception, right?
Yeah, it is. And obviously, I think that comes with its own set of problems as well, because if so many different players, are interested and want to come and thinking about coming, it's difficult to know, who you want to bring as an individual. There's a lot of great players around, but you need to make sure you're bringing in the right people who want to buy into the culture of the club, like we talked about before. So, it's a wonderful thing. More players, more problems.
That's Daniel Bruce. He's in studio with head coach Troy Lesesne of United.
So that's number 14 that you guys have announced coming back for next year. Is that ahead of schedule where you'd expect to be at this point in time for a team at this point in the offseason?
I think it's maybe slightly ahead of schedule, just because that's a great foundation to build on, and that's the whole goal. I mean, I think we worked so hard. Every single one of these players worked incredibly hard to build this club that are coming back as part of that 14, and we want to continue to hopefully add some more players that were part of our 2019 roster, and then again turn our attention towards who the additions are. That, as Brucey said, they have to be the right people first and foremost, and then we can start talking about what they'll add to the on-field product as well.
How do you assess yourself as a head coach after a season?
I don't think I've had enough time probably to reflect just yet. I do reflect on the idea that in year 1 what we've built in terms of the club structure. There's so many systems in place. Our style is there. There's a true identity to our club, and I'm very proud of that. But at the same time, we have a lot of work to do, because I think we had such a spike in terms of what we did in the Open Cup, such a spike in terms of what we did in the beginning of the year in league results, and inevitably, we were a playoff team, but we finished in 10th place. So we have to improve those results to put ourselves in a position to win a championship next year, and that's, I think the expectations again go much higher in year 2, but those are my thoughts initially after the season. I'd like to reflect on it a little bit more.
This may be too simple, but what did you learn? Like, what do you know now that you didn't know 12 months ago about being a head coach in this league, and maybe about you being a head coach?
That's a great question. I think I found out that a primary focus of my philosophy is relationships, developing genuine relationships with these players, and I felt like that was something that if I had to do it again, and that's a primary focus of my coaching philosophy, I'd do it 100 times over, because I have relationships with this guy right here that go far beyond what we do on the field, and I think that translates to results. The second piece of it is I made a lot of mistakes in year 1 as a first-year head coach, so I think those are the things that I need to reflect on to make sure we don't make those same mistakes again in terms of, seven matches where we take the lead and we end up with draws. That these are the details that I have to get into as to why that happened and build from there.
Those negative results stick with you way more than the positive ones?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Really, because so many coaches at so many different levels say the losses hurt way more than the wins are enjoyable.
I'll never forget FC Dallas being on the field at the end of that. Rapids, being on the field at the end of that. Those are monumental moments for our club, and the other ones they stick with you and they hurt, but no, they don't supersede the ones
that are. See, I think that's a great mindset, and I don't know that enough competitors and not even just coaches have that mindset.
I don't even know if enough people, not just that play the game or coach the game, but watch the game, enjoy the wins enough as they do reacting to the negative result.
Yeah, the draws for the come from ahead draws or the negative.
Sure.
Brucey, what you learned this year? What do you know about you as a player, as a person, maybe that you didn't know 12 months ago?
I think the value of looking in the mirror in any circumstance, whether you've played 90 minutes, whether you haven't played at all. If at the end of a draw that maybe should have won or a loss that we should have drawn the game, what could I have done better as an individual? Instead of looking at the players who played more minutes, or if you did play, kind of blaming somebody else, looking not out the window but in the mirror at yourself. What could I have done better this week in training? How can I put that better next week in training? And that's been laid out for us throughout the coaching staff and the older players. Looking if all the team, all us guys, look at ourselves in the mirror and think, what's one thing we could have done better last week that we'll do better next week? That's the positive kind of moving forward for a team.
Now, Daniel, for you grew up in England. You came to the States to play collegiate soccer. Be a student athlete. What was your view of the USL Championship before and now being a part of it? The level of soccer it is in this country.
I mean, obviously in England you're pretty fixated upon the Premier League, but I grew up being a Wolverhampton Wanderers fan. So that had its tough times as well. But focusing a lot on League One and the Championship, which is the two leagues below the Premier League. So I'd always had kind of a keen eye for watching all different teams from different levels. So coming over to America and playing collegiate soccer, I'd had a lot of friends who also would play in the USL and PDL, and being used to kind of looking at leagues, not just the top and the best teams, but all the way through, was something I would have done for a while. So it was nice to kind of see different players and different teams and follow the USL to an extent. Yeah, it was.
Do you see yourself staying over here and playing, or do you want to go back over? What's the future? I mean, not next year. We know where you're going to be next year, but, right? Unless there's a transfer fee. I've just learned that.
No, I'm definitely here next year.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I'm taking it right now. Obviously, you want to plan ahead and you want to. Focus on years ahead, but staying in the moment is very important, especially in this game. Yeah. And I'm very focused on this year now, the 2020 season, and making it an even better year and building on the foundation of last year. I want to play soccer. I love the game. It's an amazing thing, and I get to do that for another year. So
I think the beauty is, and it sounds like your whole club realizes how good you got it. Right? I mean, we got problems every day, and you whether we didn't win this game or that match should have gone another way, the result didn't go. I think at the end of the day, it sounds like you guys realize how fortunate you are to be doing something you love in a place that really appreciates you and an organization that really supports you, and you're able to focus on the positive. Do you have another segment left in you?
Absolutely.
Troy Lesane is the head coach, technical director of United. Daniel Bruce is going to be with United for at least one more season. They're in studio. When we come back, I want to look ahead a little bit, because now, last year there was a clean slate. Now there is a little bit of a footprint. Now there's expectations, and how do we build on that moving forward with the franchise and in the community and the great things that United has done. It's a great day to have you guys in. It's the opening drive. We're on ProView Networks and on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 10,000 homeowners improved their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Next in line. 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Troy Lassane and Daniel Bruce of United are in studio. Troy was just able to announce a signing this morning, and you can announce it again. If radio people always come through, so feel free. Please do make the announcement again.
Yeah, we're glad to have Daniel Bruce back. He had a fantastic rookie season, so that makes 14 players returning from our 2019 roster. And I was telling you guys, by the way, off the air that Daniel, his story coming to New Mexico was quite an interesting one. We knew each other back in Charlotte, so I was with the Charlotte Independents. He played at UNC Charlotte. We would play him every single spring. And I kept saying, who is this kid that just won't stop? He just keeps pestering, and he's difficult to play against. Well, lo and behold, we end up having him come out here on trial after he said no to me to 2 other clubs, by the way, that he went on trial with first. And Daniel earned his keep in a big way, and we're so glad to have him back.
And he's coming back for year number 2. Pat Allen just walked in, the news director, is a big soccer fan, and he was mentioning the crowds. And over 12,000 is an average. You walk into another place, and pick your spot. It doesn't matter. What's the feel, right? You know what it's going to be like at your spot. Mm-hmm. When you walk on the pitch at another stadium, is it deflate you a little? And B, what do the other guys say? Like somebody that comes into your place that plays in one of those and has heard about your crowd and looks around. There's got to be chatter on the pitch about, oh my goodness, what do you guys have?
Yeah, I mean, to that point, I think as difficult as it can be going to other places where there isn't the support behind you, it's tough for other teams to come where there is so much support for us at home. I think what's key for us is focusing on what we can guarantee every game, whether there's 13,000 people watching or it's a man and his dog in the stand. We can guarantee certain things for a game of soccer that isn't dependent necessarily on a crowd. Obviously, having that 13th, the 12th, 13th man with us is unbelievable, and that's phenomenal what we need. And playing at home is just, there's nothing like it. As I said, to make my professional debut in front of 15,000 people was unbelievable. But yeah, away from home, we can't let that deter us. We can't let that, bring our game down. We have to guarantee things that we can produce whenever we're on a soccer field.
Troy, with this being a brand new franchise, and you guys had to lay out everything, not just the roster, but where are you going to train, the training regimes. You have an excellent stadium that people are comfortable with the ice slopes, but with everything else, the practice, Mesa del Sol, do you have what you need right now to continue building the club and develop?
Yeah, I think so. I think, again, the systems we have in place in terms of our locker room and our training ground right now are definitely good. I think in all areas, though, we're trying to improve. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we're trying to build for not only 2020, but even for the future. And I know a lot of talk is centered around that. And we're just going to try to keep making headway on all those projects. But, for the immediate future, absolutely. I think we have what we need in place to be successful. And we just have to keep building day by day.
Troy Lesane is the head coach of United. He's in here with Daniel Bruce. So I want to look back at this year because it was so interesting. And the Cup run elevated something that was phenomenal to unbelievable, right? In retrospect, did the Cup run hurt you in the USL Championship table? And it was natural. And I'm asking you a multi-layered question. I understand it. There was natural sitting where I sit, and I'm going to guess sitting where fans sit, to say, oh my goodness, look what we're doing. We're playing USL teams. We're beating USL teams. And results weren't where you want them to be around the Cup run in USL Championship. It dropped you in the table, and it would be natural for the focus to be on the Cup when I don't know what you guys would say is more important. Is the Cup run more important, or is USL Championship games more important?
Well, I think the league is always the first. That's the first priority for us, no doubt about it. But I do think in year one, for us to make the run we made in the Open Cup, I said this the other day to David Caro and RJ on their show, it gave us tremendous credibility in year one. So for anyone that didn't know what our club was about, and really didn't have an understanding for the level that we played at, for us to go in and beat Colorado Rapids and then beat FC Dallas and play at Minnesota United, it just helped the person that may be on the fence or may not understand what the USL is, that we can compete on an extremely high level. But I think to answer your question as well, we were hitting levels of energy in the beginning of the season to where we started the first 7 matches where we're unbeaten, we're at the top of the table, we're playing in front of 15,000, we're winning in the Open Cup. We just kept hitting this spike of energy that kept going higher and higher. That's hard to sustain over a 10-month season. So and it was an additional 5 matches for us in the Open Cup.
Load management.
So yeah, load management. I did hear that segment earlier. So it's hard to balance all of that out, particularly in a first year. All that said, I would never trade what our experience was in the Open Cup and what that brought to the club in year one. I think we'll still go for it again in year 2 and hopefully be able to balance out the load management again in the USL Championship while fighting for an Open Cup.
Daniel, what did that mean to you and the team to be in those opportunities to beat the Rapids in their stadium, then to beat FC Dallas, then to see a plane full of fans from Albuquerque follow you guys to Minnesota for those matches?
Yeah, I remember the end of the Dallas game, stood on that field, socks around my ankles, just mud all over myself, just thinking, this is what it's about. This is what soccer is about. Coming to a place like this with a team this big and beating them in their own backyard was just, I remember thinking that is the best moment in my soccering career.
Does it validate you individually too? Like I can play on the pitch with these guys. Like that guy's making that much money, and I can play with these guys. It's got to
an extent, but when you're in a team like New Mexico United, and that is such a team effort to go there and beat those guys. Like, there's no way one individual's winning that game. That was such a team effort.
Yeah,
It makes you appreciate your teammates more, I think.
So Troy, the natural talk at that point was, when are we going to MLS? I'm like, whoa, tap the brakes for a second. You're in your first year of USL, and enjoy USL, and never mind the finances, right? It was a $5 million fee to get into the USL. It's $200+ million franchise fee to go MLS, facility, all those things. Enjoy the USL Championship, you can do great things, and I know from a franchise level, you guys are focused on that. And I know you've heard the when are we going up talk. This isn't overseas. That's not how this works. Do you have that conversation with fans? Just, hey, let's enjoy and build what we've got here, because that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, look, we have to build on what we started, and again, the foundation of year one going into year two, and improve it ultimately. Again, there were no expectations really last season going into 2019. There are expectations going into 2020. We finished in a position that was a playoff position, but we have to improve that. So we have to focus on the here and now. I mean, Brucey said it really well. Just to have the presence of mind to be where we are currently, enjoy it, and make sure that we not only enjoy it, but to maximize it. We have to maximize the momentum that we built as a community, not just players on the field, our staff, front office, our community as well. We have to continue to build on what we did in year one into year two, and that's how you become sustainable and you achieve excellence, and that's what we're after.
How about the stability of the USL Championship and just the future of this league?
This is my point. You see it, unfortunately, every day or every single season. It's very difficult for clubs to remain sustainable, and we have to be very aware of that, because there's so many teams that are coming in with this expansion idea, but then you have situations where it's unstable. Maybe in Fresno, we don't know where that's going. I've heard news this morning that Ottawa might be in some instability as well. There's teams over the last 3 seasons that have dropped out of the league that just came into the league, regardless if it's USL Championship or the old NASL. So it's very important that this goes into your question, I think, of we have to enjoy what we do have. We have a phenomenal club. We have to keep building on that. We have to make it sustainable for the future. We want this club to be around for 100 years. You're going to be the expansion
model now, right? I mean, people are going to be looking at you and say, what did they do in New Mexico, and how did they make that thing work, and let's do what they did there. And every market's different. I think you all know that. But what you've done in year one is great. Does Robert want to talk United? I don't know if you guys want to put on a set of headset. We'll take one phone call, and I know you got to go. But we'll find those headsets so you can hear it. Hey, Robert, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Just wondering, can you talk to us, give us a little insight on player contracts? Are they negotiated long-term or yearly, or if you're allowed to talk about player contracts, that would be great. Also, it looks like El Paso Locomotive came on late in the season as opposed to New Mexico United early in the season, but that was great to see El Paso in the finals. What are your thoughts, Coach? Do you have a favorite in that game?
Thanks, Robert.
Yeah, so to answer the first question, the contracts, I think each individual is set up somewhat differently. A lot of the guys, as you saw, were under year contracts with a club option, so we were able to, which is a great model for the club, we were able to exercise that. Then some situations were a bit different. Brucey was just under a 1-year contract, so you're seeing he was then, re-signed as quickly as we could.
Big bonus, too.
Yeah, big bonus.
Got a cup of coffee.
And, then there's other situations across the league where some clubs, guarantee 2 years or 3 years. It just kind of depends on the club. It depends on the model. Again, it goes back to trying to be sustainable and I think just trying to make sure that there's a lot of stability within the club for the here and now as well as the near future. So that's how contracts are usually structured within our club and then the rest of the league. And then for El Paso, absolutely. I mean, it's a great observation. Clearly, they're in the Western Conference Finals. They've come on extremely strong. I think they are a rival of ours from proximity.
Can't say anything too nice about them.
I know.
That's for sure.
Well, from proximity standpoint, but I like seeing a team in the Southwest have success. I think Mark Lowry has done a phenomenal job there. Great group of players. And, I think they've got a great shot to represent the Western Conference versus Real Monarchs here. Is it tonight? It's tomorrow night. Tonight or tomorrow night? I'm not sure about that one, but
this weekend.
Yes, this weekend. There you go.
Hey, fellas, appreciate this. And let's not do this once every year. JJ just pulled up the picture. It was a year ago. I think last time you were in studio. I know we've talked to you on the show, and you been great with the access. I think every Wednesday morning throughout the season we've had a player or you on, Troy, and we want to continue to make sure that we let people know who you are. We don't talk as much soccer as we do kind of what you're having for breakfast and where you're from, and I understand that. But let's do this more than once a year. I appreciate you coming in. Brucey, congratulations on the new contract and all the success. Troy, congratulations on success. I know you're not looking backwards. I know you're looking forward. So best of luck as you continue to build something that's just been incredibly special in this community.
Appreciate you guys having us on.
We'll come back and wrap things up, and certainly you can comment on what you heard from these two gentlemen. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 6 in the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. This week, PointsBet Sportsbook took the pressure off Bears fans who had bet on Mitch Trubisky as an MVP at 100-1 by refunding their money. Trubisky tried to take the pressure off his teammates by requesting that TV sets inside Hallis Hall be turned off, but there's only one way to get the mounting pressure off his own back, and that would be to play better, put up points, and beat Detroit at home. Another NFC North passer feeling the heat is Minnesota's Kirk Cousins, who cooled off last week in Kansas City, where he was uncharacteristically inconsistent. He needs to tighten his mechanics and decision-making Sunday night in Dallas. And two coaches already on hot seats will only feel that heat intensify should they continue losing. Freddie Kitchens' Brownies host the Bills, and Adam Gase's Jets battle their intramural arch rivals, the Giants. They're the home team. He's going to be hearing it from the fans for sure. I'm Boomer Esiason. Do you get into bed and find your mind still going? If so, try ZzzQuil Pure Z's liquid melatonin. It's made with an optimal level of melatonin for no next day grogginess. Pure Z's liquid melatonin, because sleep is a beautiful thing, at stores now.
Napa know-how.
Now at Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers. Buy a 2-pack of Night Vision Brilliant headlamps and get a pair of ProFormer wiper blades free. Because when you put safety first, your equipment shouldn't be second rate. So upgrade to Napa Night Vision Brilliant headlamps and get a pair of ProFormer wiper blades free. Do it yourself or have it done for you. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers. Some restrictions apply. While supplies last. Offer ends 12/31/19.
Do you get into bed and find your mind still going? If so, try ZzzQuil Pure Z's liquid melatonin. It's made with an optimal level of melatonin for no next day grogginess. Pure Z's liquid melatonin, because sleep is a beautiful thing, at stores now.
Join the Sports Animal, Albuquerque Police Department, and Albuquerque Fire and Rescue for the inaugural Guardian Games benefiting Special Olympics New Mexico. On Saturday, November 16th, come and check out the Unified Games on Civic Plaza and watch teams compete each other in a series of fun matches. Plus, there'll be food trucks, interactive APD, AFR public safety demonstrations, and more. Then on Sunday, November 17th, take part in the 5K run or a 1-mile fun walk and check out the Battle of the Badges, APD versus AFR, a competitive challenge course. For more information, call 263-5986 or visit sportsanimалabq.com.
From ooh to aww. Whatever reaction you're looking for this holiday, spread more joy with holiday cards, calendars, and photo gifts from Vistaprint. And now you can get up to 50% off all holiday cards and calendars at Vistaprint.com. Discover cards in the latest trends or fill a calendar with your favorite photos. So make more merry at Vistaprint with up to 50% off all holiday cards and calendars. Plus great deals on photo gifts. Just enter code HOLIDAY50 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, code HOLIDAY50.
It's happening. Wherever plays are being made, tickets are being sold, and fans are lining up. ADP.
He's looking towards Jackson. Jackson one-on-one. Kevin brings it in. Wow. Touchdown, Siembieda.
Man, was that a good throw and a fantastic catch by the receiver. Not too confident. Here's the handoff. Dorian's got all the room. Dorian a cut to the outside, and he's going to go for the 5, diving in. Is he there?
They're going to throw it. Looking, throws it in the end zone. Ball is caught. Touchdown, Clovis Wildcats. Goodness, what a play.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite
I really hope you enjoyed that. I did. And we'll do it again. And, you know, I like the format, and I like having these guys just in here. And
the opportunity like that.
And hopefully you get a better idea of what they're doing, where they're going, who they are. And appreciate Troy and United coming on and making that announcement. Brucey was a fan favorite, and he wasn't the original, what was it, 13 that were announced? 12, 13 that they announced when they announced the original contract extensions a couple weeks ago, and to have Brucey come back and obviously wants to be here. He said he's leaving in about 3 days, going back home. I said, how often do you get home? Well, I'm going home in 3 days. And I said, oh, cool. How long? He says, only for about a month and a half, 2 months. It's a good little break. Yeah. He gets to go home and enjoy the European winter. And then he'll be back in
Warrington, England.
Warrington. Yeah,
right.
It was good. All right, 2460610 if you want to get in, 888-922-0610. The response has been great on that. I got other stuff as well. Let me just bang through these that you sent us earlier, Jeff at 610knml.com, JJ at 610knml.com. Sid's in on Eldrick T. Woods. Mr. Siembieda, Eldrick T. Woods picks. Eldrick T. Woods? How's that even allowed? Shouldn't the captain have to resign then? No. You've had playing captains before.
It's like the All-Star game. Pick your squad.
Kind of an all-star game. You had managers. Frank Robinson, if I'm not mistaken, was a player manager. Willie Mays, I believe. I might be wrong with player manager, but you used to have player managers in the NFL. Was Pete Rose a player manager, or was he done playing when he was a manager?
I think he was done by that.
And I think that's right. But you've had in other sports. Nope, he's going to be the captain, and I think these guys are going to be thrilled. This is a different Tiger than it was 15 years ago now. Harold says, I was talking to some Utah State fans yesterday, and they feel they're the biggest beneficiary of this week's schedule. They were concerned about their struggling squad coming into University Stadium, playing in need of a win to save their season on senior night against a club that had an extra week of rest to prepare. Now that takes away Lobo football's biggest advantage.
I'm done with this advantage talk this week about the scheduling. It's tough. There's things going on behind the scene. But when it comes to a football team, those other squads, they can handle it. They'll figure it out.
I agree with you.
Deal with it.
Do you think Utah State really was worried about coming in here on Thanksgiving weekend? I mean, honestly. Garcia says, does Wyoming have a chance on the blue, Jeffy? Boise State now has 2 straight opponents coming off a freshening. That's a week off. If that happened here, Level fans would be losing their minds. Boise State also lost their quarterback for the year. Sean Chambers is out for the year.
Wyoming did.
That's what I meant. Well, Wyoming did.
Tyler Vanderwall's got some
Tyler
experience.
Vanderwall played well, and he's got experience, and they liked him before they discovered Sean Chambers. But Boise State at 6-2 will finish out. Wyoming at 6-2 will finish out with Boise State, Utah State, Colorado State, and Air Force. I think in that order. They're bowl eligible, and they will be going to a bowl, I got to believe. But, let's see what Tyler Vanderwall can do. Let's see. Brant says, this is just more proof, Jeffrey, the referee, that the season is too darn long. Instead of load management, how about fewer games, maybe 60? Not starting the season until Christmas Day. All that makes sense for a fan. And there's not a chance that these owners are giving up that extra ticket revenue or television revenue.
It's not an epidemic yet. It's a word everyone hates. Focus on Kawhi Leonard because he's the one that missed 22 games last year.
Can I just change all my fantasy football teams' names to load management?
Yes. The 1-8 team should be load management.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
For sure. Be like, it's load management, guys.
Yeah. Load, or just take load displacement. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible.
I'm managing my stars
Yeah.
for the end of the season.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. This one says, tremendous point by Hoser. Ooh.
What?
Jeff, when I played, hardly ever touched the ball in the offseason. There was no such thing as AAU. Maybe a few times in the summer, the coach had an open gym, but a lot of guys had a summer job and couldn't attend. Maybe if your parents had the resources, you would get to go to an individual summer camp or two. Otherwise, I didn't step foot on the court till October. Now, guys pretty much play 12 months out of the year, never giving their bodies a chance to rest. No wonder it seems some of these guys are always hurt. It's from James. So, it's a really good point. You want to play year-round, and you got to sharpen your skills, but would the time to load manage be in the off-season? Just asking. Thank you to Troy Lassane and Daniel Bruce. They were in studio for the big announcement for New Mexico United. Great job by JJ to set that up, and I hope you enjoyed that. Joshua, tremendous job. Now go to work. You got state championships to go do or something?
Man. Come on.
Josue, enjoy the weekend. Great work always.
Thanks, man.
Hey, see you tomorrow night.
30.
Oh,
that's right.
Jim Rome Show is next. Dan Patrick's after that. The Sports Bar is this afternoon at 3. Lady Lobos, Northern Arizona tonight.
20.
On the Sports Animal at 6:30. Enjoy the weekend, huh?
Enjoy it. Have fun, everybody.
We'll see you Monday morning, 7 a.m. with more award-winning radio for you. Enjoy the week.
10.
Safe. And be kind, loving, caring, and sharing.